freedom, man. That's what it's all about. You've got to groove on freedom, like the good book says.
Welcome. You are listening to What on Earth is Happening. This show will discuss the topics of human consciousness, mind control, natural law, the occult, and all issues that affect the freedom of the people of Earth. What on Earth is Happening will endeavor to shine light upon the darkness of our world and to offer empowering solutions to the problems we face as humanity approaches its critical moment of choice. And now, here is your host, Mark Passio.
Welcome, one and all. You're watching What on Earth is Happening. I'm your host, Mark Passio. My website, whatonearthishappening.com. Ladies and gentlemen, government is slavery. Always has been, is now, always will be. And here on What on Earth is Happening, we are ending slavery one mind at a time. Thank you and welcome today. We have a great show lined up for you. Today is Sunday, February 18th, 2024. This is show number 283 of What on Earth is Happening. And as always, What on Earth is Happening is a show of cumulative information that has prerequisites in knowledge in the earlier episodes. So if you are a new viewer or listener to the show, you should not be watching it from the later episodes. You should instead go back to podcast number 1 and listen and watch in order at your own pace from show number 1 without skipping around. So today I want to thank Will Keller for the great artwork for the show. I'm going to go over some basic housekeeping announcements, and then we'll jump into the topic, which is the unholy feminine, Neo-Feminine, and the Satanic Neo-Feminism and the Satanic Epi-Eugenics agenda revisited, part 5. This is an extended series of revisited information from a presentation that I originally delivered back in 2016. I am now bringing the information back out onto the show in a extended capacity, and we've been doing a mini-series on this topic over the last several weeks, and will continue until I feel that the information is sufficiently covered. So thank you to Will Keller for the art for today. I just would ask if my mic be muted temporarily, please, because I want to communicate something to my producer. All right, thank you. Let's jump into some housekeeping announcements before going into the material in earnest. We are back on a 3-hour live show format this year from January through June. Of course, in the second half of the year, I teach the How to Become the True Media seminar, and I go on hiatus for the live show during that time period. So we are back on this 6-month schedule with a 3-hour format with my producer in-house. We are also simulcasting now live on 10 platforms: whatonearthishappening.com, the One Great Work Network at onegreatworknetwork.com, and on the following social media platforms: Telegram, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, X, Rumble, Odyssey, and DLive. So very happy about that simulcasting setup that we have going this year. How to Become the True Media 2024 seminar is racing toward us. This is an intensive 23-week technology skill set sharing seminar hosted on the Telegram platform every Monday evening from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Time from Monday, July 8th through Monday, December 9th for a total of 23 class sessions. I'm going to go to the howtobecomethitruemedia.com website to tell you about all of the skills that we teach in this great seminar. There is limited space available. Enrollment is not open yet. It will be opening April 1st. There are 3 months of enrollment from April 1st through the 4th of July. So you have April, May, June, and the first couple of days in July to enroll. I would not wait, because it's very possible that this could be the first year that this seminar completely fills. So again, there is limited space. I'm going to step out of my presentation and just go to the website briefly, because I want to go through the basic curriculum. So here we go. This is the howtobecomethitruemedia.com website. When the enrollment goes live on April 1st, there will be a button at the top and bottom of the site where you can click that button to go to the enrollment page. So it gives you all the information. To enroll, it is a $523.93 private donation. The accepted methods of donation are listed there on the page. Again, when you click the enrollment button, that information will all be repeated on the enrollment page. Enrollment opens April 1st, and these are the seminar, the basic curriculum of this coming seminar. We teach basic operating system skills, so people who may not be very familiar with the very basic tasks of using a computer can become comfortable with them. File systems will be taught, disk formatting, so you can format media to put information on it to give to people. File and folder management, basic organization of files on your computer. Workflow and best practices. We teach that there are many ways of doing the same thing, but we try to identify what's known as best practices, some of the ways that you can do tasks that will save you time and energy. Then we get into word processing and publishing, because without being able to make a simple outline, you're not going to get very far in organizing your thoughts for a presentation or a live stream. But that also comes in handy if you're going to publish a blog, if you're going to write a book, etc. So we teach that. The basics of internet and networking, how to set up a home LAN is taught in the class, a home local area network, so you can send files back and forth between computers on your home network. The basics of the internet, search engines, etc. Searching the web, how to optimize your searches, searching the dark web, how to find things that are not indexed by traditional search engines. Graphic design, because you have to make your content aesthetically appealing. So we teach things like Photoshop, some basic roster graphics and vector graphics, print layouts, things like that. Print publication, if you're going to lay out a book or lay out a flyer, things like that. How to build presentations. I teach the software that I actually use to make all my presentations. And how to go about making that aesthetically pleasing with builds on the slide, with transitions between slides, etc. Audio and video editing and publishing, because if you're going to do a podcast, you have to understand those things. If you're going to make an audio-only podcast or a video podcast, or you're going to do things like making a film or a documentary. We teach live streaming, how to do a live show like this. We teach basic web publishing, the very basics of the building blocks of the web, and then how to go about practicing making a website on your own and then eventually publishing a website. We teach basic internet sharing and collaboration if you're going to, work with people and collaborate with others online. And we teach all of the equipment, the hardware that you're going to require to do these tasks. And I show you the equipment. We talk about the kind of equipment that you should look at to buy, the basic price range that you want to look at, and how to identify good equipment online. So it's a private seminar, open to those who enroll and make a private donation to attend. Each private donation is for one student only. Each student should enroll separately. There are no enrollment discounts, no donation plans, no partial enrollment donations, no date extensions on the enrollments for this seminar. Please don't ask for those things. I try to keep it fair for everyone, so everyone basically is, goes through the same enrollment process, and there's no favors for anyone. The classes are only live. They will not be recorded for later playback or distribution. That's deliberate. I want it that way. Please don't ask me for recordings. Please don't tell me that I should make this a video seminar that people just pay for. It's supposed to be a live interactive seminar each week where we get to know each other, where people ask questions, where I answer questions in real time. So it's not a video seminar, okay? It's a live attendance seminar where you attend virtually over the internet live, and I am in the seminar teaching it in real time and answering questions in real time. So understand that's the purpose. I'm trying to make it an intimate environment. I'm trying to make it a personal environment. It is not just buying videos and watching them. Please understand that and don't ask for it to become that. I have no intention of making the How to Become the True Media seminar that, okay? It is going to be a live teaching seminar online where it's interactive and people can ask questions of me in real time. The only computing requirement is that your computer can run Telegram desktop. I highly recommend Telegram desktop version, not the App Store version of any particular platform's App Store. I think you should go to desktop.telegram.org and download the actual desktop software. And I think you should attend on either a laptop or desktop computer. You should not be attending via a tablet or a phone. You will not get the maximum out of the seminar if you try to attend via a mobile device after you enroll. You should attend on a computer. When enrolling, please enter valid, correct, and up-to-date contact information for both your email address and phone number, or we will not be able to contact you if there's a problem with your enrollment. And then after you enroll, you will get a PDF telling you how to join our Telegram group for the seminar. Internet enrollment expires July 4th, 2024 at 11:59 p.m. If you want to enroll by personal check or money order, you will be able to send us an email and we'll give you the address to send your check and money order. Those types of donations must be received by July 1st, must be in our hands by July 1st. So please note that deadline if you're going to enroll via check or money order. If people have any questions, they could use that email link at the bottom there. That is the basics of the How to Become the True Media seminar. So, for more information, visit this website right here, howtobecomthetruemedia.com. Let's go back to the housekeeping announcements. The One Great Work Network going strong with over 70 great content creators at onegreatworknetwork.com. Please check out the website. Please check out all the great content up there. Please do support all of the wonderful content creators that comprise the One Great Work Network. They absolutely require and deserve your support. So please support them individually. Don't Tread on Philly meets every second Wednesday for our second Wednesday happy hour, a social meetup for people who are concerned about the loss of human freedom. It takes place the second Wednesday of every month, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. at The Dive in South Philadelphia. This event is always free to attend. If you want more information, visit don'ttreadonphilly.com or visit the Facebook page, Don't Tread on Philly, and the event calendar is always at that Facebook page. Inquire and Inspire documentary movie nights take place the third Thursday of every month, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. at Arnold's Family Fun Center in Oaks, Pennsylvania. This event is always free to attend. They showed a phenomenal documentary this month, just this past Thursday, called Into the Weeds, which was about the destructive health effects of glyphosate, specifically in Monsanto's Roundup product, which is absolute poison. for the human nervous system, for the entire body, and is a known carcinogen. And they got away with selling that direct to the public and direct to farmers for decades. And it's still sold in the agri industry, unfortunately. But it was a very powerful documentary. I had not yet seen this one. I think it was one of the first ones I did not see. And just brilliantly done. I highly recommend it to anybody. Very intense film. Into the Weeds, it was called. So Inquire and Inspire each month always shows incredibly eye-opening documentary films like that. Always free to attend every third Thursday of the month in Oaks, PA. For more information, visit their website, inquireandinspire.com. The What on Earth is Happening IPFS project is still ongoing. For more information on how to take part in our IPFS project to get my information out there in an uncensored way, you can visit whatonearthishappening.com/IPFS. To call into the show via Telegram, you can visit whatonearthishappening.com/call. There you will get our Telegram call-in room, and you could listen in that way, or you could just wait in the queue for me to take your call. I don't know if we'll be getting to calls today. Some of these shows I may interrupt the regular process and take calls. It depends on how the flow is going with the slides. I have many slides to still get through in the material that I'm currently covering. I'd like to say that maybe later this season, one of the topics I really want to discuss and talk about is technology. Another topic that I want to discuss and talk about is martial arts. And again, I have a lot to say on both of these things. I think they are things that people really need to understand and utilize. If you're not actively engaged in either one of those, you should be. And I want to talk about more why technology is so important to learn. I want to talk about more why martial arts is a skill set people should have under their belts. And I really want to talk about my take on the martial arts and my personal philosophy regarding it, because as I get a little bit older, I really think the time is short for me to really get more involved in martial arts in a physical capacity. But I really want to do something like maybe potentially open up a martial arts program or school with really skilled instructors, and maybe even just something that's private, that is a private seminar, because I don't think there is a complete martial art as of yet. And I think the missing component or ingredient of true martial arts, as opposed to what I call pseudo martial arts, is natural law. The understanding of natural law is sorely missing in martial arts today. I've attended many martial arts seminars, and I find them extremely lacking outside of the skill sets that they teach. The philosophy is highly lacking. In just about every place that I've ever gone to meet with martial artists, attend seminars, practice, the techniques, even if the techniques are there and perfect, the philosophy is missing. And the biggest part of the missing aspect of the philosophy of martial arts, which should be there and is not, is the understanding and incorporation of natural law into the martial arts skill sets. And that's where I feel I could create the world's most complete martial art, regardless of what it would be called. If it would be called anything, it would have natural law as the foundational basis of the entire mentality. And then upon that, the techniques would be built. But, you have martial arts that I consider are laughingly called martial arts programs, because any martial artist that just takes money and then teaches skill sets, as long as money's coming in, as far as I'm concerned, that's a pseudo martial art. If you're not vetting people for their understanding of natural law first, before even accepting them into any program, then you're not doing the world a service. And to me, that means you're a pseudo martial artist, not a genuine one. So this is something I want to talk a great deal about at length in the future, and we'll probably make that a series here on What on Earth is Happening at some point. The ARC 2.0 offer is still on the table and will be offered in perpetuity. As long as I'm doing this work, the ARC drive will be offered. The ARC offer is a storage device that you send to me, and then I will ship it back to you filled with over 26,000 audio files, almost 10,000 digital books, and almost 3,500 digital videos, all from my own personal archive of research gathered over the many years and copied onto the storage device that you provide. For more information on the ARC offer and the shipping instructions, go up to whatonearthishappening.com/ARC, A-R-K, and you can get the shipping instructions after filling in the form with your correct information. Again, the ARC offer is not anonymous. People want to be secret agent man and fill it in with all phony information. That's not how the ARC works. It is not an anonymous offer. You have to provide your information. So if there's a problem with your device when it arrives here, we need to be able to contact you, so we have to have real and legitimate contact information. If you don't want to provide that, the ARC offer is not for you. It is not an anonymous offer for anonymous cowards. It is a genuine offer for genuine people that want this knowledge, and you would have to provide your real information to receive it because, again, you're sending your property to me. If there's a problem with your property, we have to inform you and let you know what happened, so we have to have your genuine contact information. That's how the offer works. If you don't want to do that, then do not reach out to me for the ARC drive. But if you can follow simple basic instructions and, pack things the way I ask for them to be packed, go up to whatonearthishappening.com/ARC, get the ARC and get the whole picture, because you certainly will get the entirety of the picture from the information on the ARC drive. For hard copies of any of my work, visit gifts.whatonearthishappening.com. I want to say about gifts, we really need your support through the gifts area of my website. If people do not use the gifts area and order things from there for, via a private donation, and then we send you the gift that you donate for, it's very difficult for What on Earth is Happening to continue to operate. There's everything up there from my One Great Work collection drive, which is the complete archive of all of my work, every one of my presentations, every one of my videos, every one of my interviews, all in one solid state drive, beautifully packaged. My natural law documentary is up there, all my presentations that I've ever delivered on flash drive, on DVD, men and women's t-shirts, coasters, stickers, buttons, keychains, just about everything you can imagine up there. And also technology donations, which I want to go over and give an update. I'm going to do this every week until the tech donation is provided for, should it be. So let me go to the website and just show you this aspect of it. In categories here on the main page, if you click technology donations, or if you click it here on the categories subsection on the right-hand side, it will take you to this page, which will show you technology that we require to continue to operate What on Earth is Happening and One Great Work Network. I have an aging Intel Mac in my office. I want to pick up a Mac Studio. So for items that are very large, as far as how much they cost, this is a $6,000 computer that I want to purchase. We crowdsource fund the technology with crowdsource donations. So I do that through my gifts area. And if you click into that item, you'll see the description, a donation toward a Mac Studio from Mark Passio. Here's the description. You could donate in $50 increments, anywhere from $50 to $500. After you choose whatever your donation is going to be, then you could hit add to basket and it will go into your gift basket there. Okay. So this is the description. It is a donation toward a Mac Studio for Mark Passio to be used as his own creative and office computer. This will be the main computer that I use here at What on Earth is Happening headquarters on a daily basis. It's the computer that I will make my presentations on. It is the computer that I will do editing on. It is the computer that I will do any office work upon. So it's going to be my day-to-day computer. Right now I have an aging iMac that is Intel-based. I want to move up later this year to an Apple Silicon-based computer, since the transition to Apple's own silicon chips has been completed, and the Mac Studio looks like it's going to be the option for me. So we have raised so far, out of the $6,000 required to purchase this new computer, we have raised $3,550 so far as of this week. Thank you so much for all of your wonderful and generous donations. That goes for everyone who donated over the years in any way to the What on Earth is Happening, One Great Work Network, and How to Become the True Media projects. Thank you so much for your kind and continued donations. So that's where we're at with the donations toward the Mac Studio. Please help out. We are over the halfway mark now. So thank you. Let's go back to the housekeeping announcements. If you just want to make a straight donation to help the What on Earth is Happening, One Great Work Network causes, visit whatonearthishappening.com/donate. Many ways to make a donation, including Cash App, GPay, Wise, Zelle, check or money order, 9 different cryptocurrencies, and our Amazon tech donation wish list. There is one item on that wish list right now. Thank you to everyone who helped fulfill that wish list and purchased items that we require here technologically for What on Earth is Happening. So that's all my housekeeping announcements for today. Let's jump into the topic of discussion, which is our continuation of the unholy feminine, Neo-Feminism, and the Satanic Epi-Eugenics agenda revisited and expanded material. This is part 5 of I don't know how many parts, because I've been covering them in depth and slowly at my own pace, to my satisfaction, to the extent that I want to communicate this material. And we left off last week on asking the question, are the likes and preferences that are inside your own personality truly your own? Or were they socially conditioned and over time placed there by people who are deep within the occult apparatus of our world, the occult hierarchy, the social engineering construct that ultimately rules our world? And are they not truly your own ideas? Are they not truly your beliefs? Are they not truly your likes, your dislikes, your preferences? We tend to think of these things as things that just develop in ourselves. And in reality, they are things that other people implant. This is what social engineering is, because it's trying to steer a population toward a certain outcome. And we left last week discussing the social engineer Edward Bernays, who was the nephew of Sigmund Freud, a popular psychologist and therapist. And essentially, Bernays got involved in the occult establishment, and he realized what was really going on behind the scenes and eventually tried to warn some people. He was obviously involved in it himself before realizing that, this is something that is going on that is sinister and is not leading us in the right direction, and perhaps spoke out too late. But he did just openly tell people that this was happening, that social engineering was occurring, that it was part of an occult class of people. It was part of a hidden agenda and a hidden hierarchical structure that operates in our world. And he was telling people, this is how your governments operate. This is how your whole society operates. So Bernays said, the conscious and intelligent manipulation of the organized habits and opinions of the masses is an important element in democratic society. Those who manipulate this unseen mechanism of society, which essentially is saying the word occult definitionally, an unseen mechanism is the occult. That is what it means. It means not readily seen, hidden from sight. He said, those who manipulate this unseen mechanism of society constitute an invisible government. Invisible, difficult or impossible to see, occult, hidden, an occult government. which is the true ruling power of our country. This is a guy like myself who was involved in it himself. This isn't him talking through book knowledge. This isn't him saying secondhand information. This is him, like myself, who was a member of these occult organizations, working behind the scenes to subvert human civilization, to implant beliefs, to implant ideologies, to implant likes and dislikes and preferences, and essentially conduct Epi-Eugenics operations to get people to change in a way that the occult ruling class wants them to change by implanting ideas in their mind without them even consciously understanding that those ideas have been implanted and socially engineered into the populace. Those who manipulate this unseen mechanism of society constitute an invisible government, which is the true ruling power of our country. And again, to this day, the majority of people in the truth and freedom movements do not ever say the word occult. They do not mention Satanism. They do not mention dark Luciferianism. They do not mention any aspect of what the real world of the occult actually is. They talk about politics. They talk about banking, and they never actually get into social engineering, mind control, occultism, occult psychology. They don't want to talk about those things because that's when people say, that's too far for me to go, and then they tune out, and then their ratings go down, and that's all these people give a crap about is ratings. They don't care about what the truth really is. All they care about is who's actually tuning in, how many clicks am I getting, how many likes am I getting, how's my YouTube channel monetization doing, which, by the way, that's satanic blood money, ladies and gentlemen. If you're a real content creator, you ain't taking YouTube's blood money, okay? Which they're getting from advertisers who people are clicking through to, and is often involved in the big pharma industry and in the weapons manufacturer and contracting industry. It's the industry of death. And if you're taking money from YouTube, you're making money for those industries of death. So demonetize your YouTube channel and bring in resources in a way that is not taking blood money from Satanists and rotten Nazis and rotten communists, because that's what YouTube is. And I'm saying it while I'm broadcasting on their platform, and I'd say it to any person who's in that sick, demented, vile institution called YouTube. You guys are Satanists. You're Nazis, and you're communist trash. And guess what? Just about every person who works at YouTube who might hear me say that, you're proud of all of that. You would go like, yes, I am a Satanist. Yes, I am a communist. Yes, I am a dirty, rotten fucking Nazi. You'd say that proudly. And you deserve the monikers, and you're just rotten fucking trash of people. And I'm using the term people very loosely in that regard. So that's what I think of YouTube. That's what I think of content creators that take fucking money from those rat fucking pieces of trash. Okay? I think I made my opinion quite clear on that topic. So after looking at Bernays' quote here on the left, and the book that he wrote called Propaganda, The Public Mind in the Making, also wrote other books on social engineering. I am asking the question on this slide, what qualities do you find attractive in another person? Is it possible that such likes and preferences could be implanted into your belief system? Just think of that. Is it possible that your likes and preferences are not actually yours? That they were shaped, that they were molded, that they were injected, that they were implanted into your mindset by people you will never meet. You will never meet these people. They are a hidden component of our society, an occult priest class that is socially engineering people for their own ends, their own agendas, their own aims. Is it possible that they have implanted ideas into your own mind and your own belief system, and that's why you think the way you do about many, 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 many things that you think about? I would say to people, don't believe everything you think. This is the problem, is people formulate their thoughts and belief systems and then latch onto them dogmatically. When the belief was implanted to begin with, it was never your own thoughts. It was always influence from other people who you may not even have ever met. And it was carried to you by their media organizations and their influencers. You have to look at who's behind the media, who's behind the influencers, if you want to really get to the occult priest class and the social engineer class of our world. It might surprise and even disturb most people to think that such aspects of their personality may not actually be their own. These are things that are socially engineered in most human beings. They are not your own beliefs. They are not your own likes or dislikes. You just believe that they are. And I hear I'm going to get into all the things that I hear from people that I know are socially engineered because I worked with the social engineers who are injecting those ideas into popular culture. I literally worked with them and heard about all the things that they were going to inject in pop culture before they did it, and then watched it happen years later. These people who I'm talking about, these satanic ruling class, the social engineers, the people who are really entrenched in power behind the ostensible governments of our world, they do not talk shit and then don't actually go out into the world and do what they say they're going to do. Yeah, they talk shit and say, we're going to go out and do this, we're going to go out and do that. But then you know what the difference is between them and other people who talk shit? They actually go out and do it. In our movement, if you want to laughingly call it movement, because there's no movement in it, it's not moving anywhere, it's stagnant, it's standing still, it's actually going in the opposite direction that it needs to go, okay? Our laughingly so-called movement for the truth and freedom movements, we talk shit and then don't back up what we say we're going to do in 99.999% of the cases. Because we have people who are essentially, they just want to remain anonymous cowards. They don't want to make any sacrifices. They don't want to spend any resources. They don't want to put any skin in the game. They don't want to organize themselves. They don't want to get themselves strong, first and foremost. Then they don't want to organize with others. We are a shit-talking game, but we're not a very get out there on the field and take action game. You know, that's what our movement is compared to the real satanic social engineers of our world that talk shit and then back it up with action. So, you know, this whole idea anyway that shit talkers don't get things done, believe me, I'm a shit talker and I get a lot done. I do it too. Okay? I'll say what I'm going to do and then I'll go and do it. You know, people say, oh, the big talkers are the ones who don't do nothing and they're cowards. No, it's untrue. It's clear you've never been in any large, potentially violent dynamic. You know, I've seen people who are as mousy as a child, say 0 words, and will still kick somebody's ass. I've seen completely quiet, silent types that get their ass kicked. I've seen people who are loudmouth motherfuckers that get their ass kicked, and I've seen people who are loudmouth, trash-talking motherfuckers that'll put somebody down in a split second. You don't judge that by how you think people talk, whether they're tough, whether they'll back up their actions, whether they'll actually follow through what they say they're going to do, just by their mouth, just by their words. When it comes time to actually see the action getting done, that's when you'll know whether a shit talker backs it up or whether a silent person backs it up. You know, this idea that, oh, only all the quiet ones are the tough ones and all the shit talkers are the pussies. No, you're wrong. You don't understand how it works. It's always a mixed dynamic when it comes to that. You don't gauge it based on talk. You judge people by their behavior. And by their behavior, I'm telling you, the Satanists get shit done and the truth and freedom movements aren't moving anywhere. Okay? You don't like that? Then do something about it. But it's true anyway. It's true anyway. See, I'm not here to say things that aren't true. I'm here to say things that are true and tough to hear, that are going to really tell you where the dynamic sits, and then possibly motivate you to right action if you're tough enough. If you're a weakling, You should just shut the show off from Jump Street, because I'm not looking for weaklings. I'm looking for tough, strong motherfuckers that are ready to fight, that are ready to get involved in the war for our freedom, that are ready to get on the battlefield, that don't want to just talk shit, that whether they talk shit or they don't talk shit, they're going to take action, and they're going to take right action, and they're going to take willful action. They're going to take strong action. This is the problem with people on our side. They want to hear everything. They want to see things. They want to talk about it. They want to discuss it. They want to have all their little groups and, social movements, etc., get-togethers. But then when it comes to, like, what are you actually going to do to move the ball down the field? Then you hear crickets chirping. Then all the chatter stops. It goes to silent, and you hear the crickets chirping, because this movement doesn't want to really be involved in action. And that's the problem. From day one, I've been telling people action is required. This isn't a social meetup. This isn't a discussion group, okay? This is something that requires real-world action to get out and influence people, to get motivated and to take action themselves, to learn what's really going on, like a presentation like this that's telling you about social engineering and how it affects your mindset, what you believe to be your own thoughts when they're not your own thoughts. So, most people don't even truly know why they find the things that they find attractive to be so. They don't even understand why that dynamic is in place in their mindset. The same can be said for both men and women. We're not singling out just women in this dynamic. This type of social engineering affects everyone, men and women alike. I'm specifically going to address how this works through women in this particular presentation, however. See, again, this presentation really should be seen in conjunction with the cult of ultimate evil, order followers, and the destruction of the sacred feminine. This presentation was about how the sacred feminine dynamic of the personality is being destroyed in men in particular, namely the order followers of our society, the military and the police. Now, yes, there are women in the military and the police as well, but they're largely male-centric institutions. And the actual physical power and force conducted through them is largely conducted through men. Let's be honest, okay? Yes, women have been brought into those institutions in the last many decades, but it's still largely a male, percentage-dominated institution, both of them. So that presentation focuses on the destruction of the sacred feminine, largely in men. This presentation focuses on the destruction of the sacred feminine, largely in women, and the inculcation into the satanic dynamic of what I call the unholy feminine, the part of the aspect of femininity that is completely out of alignment with the sacred feminine and totally in a state of skewed imbalance toward the left-hand path and toward pure selfishness and even outright evil. So what I'm asking here on this slide is all such attraction simply a natural instinctual dynamic, or can a great portion of it be attributed to cultural programming, to social engineering? See, we tend to think, and I always do, I know I'm going to get flack, I'm going to get blowback, I'm going to get people saying, oh, it's all just biological, Mark. And, that's the exact voice it's communicated in. Every single person that says it, that's what they sound like. Mark, don't you know about Darwin's theories and how we evolved? You're not privy to that knowledge and information? And you don't understand this is thousands upon thousands of years of biological evolution? You clearly haven't read many books. You're clearly a little slow on the uptake. Maybe you got dropped while you were a child, and you really can't hear what I'm telling you. And that's you know what that is? That's an I watch CNN all day long Even while I'm sleeping, it's still blaring in the background, response. Okay? That's what that is. That's once again, that is I watch CNN all day long, and then even when I'm sleeping, it's blaring in the background, response. That is literally how dumb you sound. Okay? No, this is not just a biological so-called evolutionary progression, that people just think that these things are attractive and appealing and they like this and they like that, and that's just how it is. It's not just how it is. It was how it was culturally engineered to be by the powers that be in our world that want it the way that it is. Make no mistake about it. What I'm talking about in this presentation, without any question, is social engineering by the occult priest class. And if you don't understand that, and you just latch on to this dumb fucking Darwinistic idea that, first of all, isn't even borne out and proven by science, it is just a theory that was largely not correct, that had some aspects that were correct in the way it worked, and then the vast bulk of it, the actual heavyweight part of it that really needed to be borne out by the scientific truth of real discovery within the record of the ways that species progress that is proven in the earth, then that bulk of the theory was never really truly proven. It still remains theoretical. It still remains conjectural. It still remains speculative. And people don't want to acknowledge that. Just like they still believe, because they're listening and reading and hearing opinions about and from people who are talking about 150-year-old disproven pseudoscience that was about genes control everything. This is long gone, folks. Nobody who's a genuine thinker and a cutting-edge thinker in the fields of science still believes genes control everything. If you're still in this the whole genetic world is the ultimate truth, and everything's about molecules coming together and dictating how we behave and dictating which characteristics express and dictating how people think and believe and feel and their likes and dislikes, you are paying attention to a century and a half disproven pseudoscience that's been completely debunked and disproven by thousands of scientists publishing thousands and thousands of peer-reviewed articles in thousands of scientific journals, and they're coming on to the understanding, and have been coming on to the understanding for many decades, of how epigenetics works. And this is the problem. You're 150 fucking years behind the curve, little dumb fucking children. Because that's what you are, and that's what you sound like when you go, "But don't you understand? It's all just genes, and it's about thousands of years of genetic evolution over thousands of years of time, and that's why people think and behave the way they think and behave." My impression is getting pretty dead balls on. That is like right on, hitting the bullseye, is what you sound like, and it's sad. It's sad. I'm still going to viciously mock you, but inside I'm crying. Okay? It's really fucking sad. Inside, I see how bad your parents fucked you up. I see how bad your teachers fucked you up. I see how bad the shithead on the TV, on the shit box, the shit talking head on the shit box fucked up your shit for brains head, and how fucked up you are. You really don't really belong walking the street. You belong in a fucking padded fucking room, instead of trying to tell people how the world functions, how you think it functions, when you're buying into 150-year-old pseudoscience. And you're not privy to the new shit, man. You haven't looked into one new discovery of science in the last century and a half, man. So do me a favor. Stop writing me emails on it. You're wasting your time. You're wasting my fucking time because I got a nice little script button on my bar, my top bar of my email. And when there's an asshole like that, I hit block, boom, puts him in, dumps him into the script. Never hear from you again. Your email is permanently blocked. You can write to me forever. It's deleted on the server end and never reaches me. That's how I roll. When dumb fucking people keep suggesting dumb fucking ideas that have been disproven for 150 fucking years. I just block their dumb ass because I don't have time for people who are dumb. You're just dumb, son. You're just dumb. That's all it comes down to. You're dumb and you're not privy to the new information because you're lazy and you just want to believe something instead of actually research on your own and actually gather all the grammar that you need to gather, go through all that information meticulously with a fine-tooth fucking comb, and then come out the other side with an accurate understanding of what all that data means. That's the real scientific methodology that you don't want to do because you're a lazy bag of shit. All right? And like I said, come and talk to me about it to my face, and I'll tell that to your face. This is where most people are at. They're dumb as dog shit. They don't want to do their own work. They want to just sit back and believe an expert. You know? I'm not going to get into the whole scenario because I'm not ready to yet, and I don't want to make the whole show about that, but I had to deal with some family and just... because I told you there's some family issues going on and it's still ongoing. Not to the extent that I had to, not be here today, but we could still use your positive thoughts and energy and prayers. So thank you for all who offered that during this past week. But, without getting into it, without trying to insult anybody, it's very difficult for me to hear the opinions and beliefs of people, even in my own family or extended family, that I realize have not done one iota of work on their own, have not done made one real genuine millisecond of effort to truly determine truth. And I can tell they're just buying everything that they think from the social engineers and the talking heads on mainstream media. And I feel bad for them. I feel exceedingly sad for them because they're essentially completely mind-controlled flesh robots. But it's like when I then have to interact with them because of some responsibilities and things going on, it becomes very hard for me to manage my mouth. And when you're in certain situations, you really can't start a fight. You can't start an argument. It would be so disrespectful that I would see it as an ultimate form of disrespect, even myself. So then in those instances, I say this is not the time nor place, and I do stay silent in the sense that I don't start a fight in the moment. But I just have to put it out there that what family members of my own still think and believe, it's truly awe-inspiring, is all I can say. It's not just sad, it's not just unfucking believable, it's awe-inspiring, the ways that their minds could be manipulated and twisted. And like I said, if the social engineers, the Satanists, the dark occultists who I formerly worked with and then decided to ditch and blow the whistle on because I was not very high up in their organizations, I can only imagine the extent of evil that it goes to. If what I saw and how I perceived it was so dark, negative, totally influential, having total control over humanity as far as the mind and the opinions are concerned, how they've social engineered people. And I recognize by my own saying that was very low level involvement. I'm not saying that I may have been at the very bottom of the pyramid, but not many steps up, let's put it that way, compared to where it goes at the apex of the pyramidal structure of hierarchy and compartmentalization in this satanic structure that exists. I can only imagine the evil that is up at higher levels of it. It would make Yuval Noah Harari look like a Girl Scout selling Girl Scout cookies door to door. Okay? That's where this satanic evil really goes, when you really get up into the highest levels of it. And my own personal involvement, thankfully, did not go to those highest levels, but it went up the pyramid structure a tiny bit, enough for me to say, whoa, this is not what I thought it was. This is extremely serious. This is extremely evil, and I don't want to serve this agenda, you know? So, but when I see what they've done, even the members of my own family, I just want to shake their hands and say, my God, you guys are master strategists. I don't despise and detest them. You know who I despise and detest? The people who they're actually doing this agenda to that help them do it. That's who I was at one point in my life. I was that person who I most vehemently detest today. I stopped being that person, though. That's the difference between me and other jackasses. Right? I stopped being that person and began the journey toward being a good person. And other people just keep going down deeper and deeper and deeper, doubling, tripling, quadrupling down, never admitting that they're duped, never admitting that they're actually serving evil, and keep putting out the same regurgitated, socially engineered ideas and then spitting them toward others. You know, it's bad enough you hold those beliefs. Why don't you just keep the absolute drivel mind control mentality to yourself and just let other people exist in their environments in relative fucking peace? We're already bombarded with shit from every conceivable fucking angle coming at our minds, coming at our brains. We don't need the flesh golems, the mud golems, the shit golems, talking to the other fucking golems and trying to get them even deeper into the trance. And this is what I even see by people who are close to me. Imagine what's out there. Imagine what just is the drooling member of the fucking population out there and what they think and believe, what they've been socially conditioned and engineered to believe, accept, and think are their own thoughts. So let's start talking about what the social engineers, what the Satanists at the highest levels of the priest class actually want to turn modern women into. And let me tell you something, they don't want to turn them into it. They're not trying to turn them into it. They have turned the overwhelmingly vast majority of women into their model, their version of what they laughingly call a woman in today's society. Now, not to be outdone, they've also done that with men, and we could do a whole other presentation on that. What have they turned men into? They've turned men into puppets. They've turned men into fucking weaklings. They've turned them into people who have no positive, sacred masculine qualities. They've turned them into ATMs for the inauthentic women. You know, they've turned them into perfect slaves that will never resist tyranny. And that's exactly what they want. And who's ushering them into that condition at a deeper and ever-increasing pace? The inauthentic woman, in quotes. Now, I'm going to continue to use this phrase during this presentation throughout the whole teaching aspect of this presentation. If you hear me say the modern woman, women of today, I am talking about this concept in this presentation known as the inauthentic woman. The woman that the social engineer priest class is actually manipulating into existence. They're creating this type of woman's characteristics, creating their personality, giving them their thoughts, giving them their beliefs, giving them their likes, giving them their dislikes, giving them their preferences. This aspect of society is a completely socially engineered being. They are essentially a flesh robot, a golem. They are a product of the priest class. So let's look at the concept and what it means of the inauthentic woman. What I'm going to talk about throughout the presentation and say, overwhelmingly, the vast majority of women today are this. It doesn't mean I'm making a blanket statement. I'm not saying there aren't authentic women that are still in the world. I'm not saying there aren't authentic men that still exist in the world. I'm saying that most women have been socially engineered into this in modern society of today. There are very few, percentage-wise, authentic women. The vast, overwhelming majority of all females on this planet have been turned into this concept, the inauthentic woman. So let's now unpack what it means. The inauthentic woman, or the socially engineered woman, is being, above all else, culturally conditioned to no longer be attracted to any of the qualities of a truly authentic man. So they're creating the inauthentic man, they're creating the inauthentic woman, and they're telling the inauthentic woman, you must like and be attracted to and want the qualities of and the personality characteristics of the inauthentic man. And if you ever encounter the genuine, true, authentic, sacred, masculine male being, you are to look at all of those characteristics as diseased, as undesirable, as even toxic, as they, have this term applied. So when the inauthentic woman makes a decision about the way that she's going to interoperate with men in society and then eventually perhaps procreate with men in society, all of the social engineer's desired characteristics and traits are going to come out of her decisions of who she eventually procreates with, and then brings those characteristics down into the next generation of human beings. If you cannot see already this strategy, if you cannot see what I am laying out, if you cannot even understand what I just said, this is why I'm trying to take it slow and get you to understand conceptually, week by week in this series, how these social engineers think and operate and what they're trying to do. And people still, to this day, I know, don't understand it. You should go back. You should listen to all the shows again. You should listen to particularly this set of shows again. You should go and watch the presentation that I did the first time and watch it 10 fucking times until you understand it. Watch it until it sinks the fuck in and you get it. Because I've done a phenomenal job of explaining it. Everybody within the sound of my voice should get it. And a huge percentage, I'm going to say the majority, proves to me week after week after week after week after week that they don't get it. Or I still wouldn't be this harsh. I still wouldn't be potentially somewhat assholish and mean to people when I'm saying it the way that I say it. If I felt everybody got it, I wouldn't be this pushing the information on to people and being kind of vicious about how most of you aren't getting it. Because I'm telling you, I have a very good, accurate sense of how many people percentage-wise are getting it versus how many are not. And I'm telling you, still the majority don't get it. You're still dumb. You're still fucking believing what you want to believe. You still don't have the fucking grammar under your belt. You still didn't go back and listen from the early podcast so you could understand what all this is and means. You're still not really getting the definitions. And you still believe bullshit that was taught to you by the fucking social engineers and all their fucking media and their bullshit pseudoscience. And you're latched on to all that shit dogmatically like a fucking religionist. And that's why you're hurting yourselves and you're hurting people the fuck around you, because your thoughts are still all fucked up. You're all fucked up in the head, boys. You're all fucked up in the head, little girls. And you need to get your fucking thoughts unfucked. That's why you're not beating these people. That's why you're not making any genuine fucking effort to truly beat this social engineer class. Who the fuck's even talking about them? I listen to fucking podcasts all week long. I listen to fucking videos all fucking week long. I don't hear anybody talking about social engineering. I don't hear them talking about morality. I don't hear them talking about natural law. I don't hear them talking about Satanism. I don't hear them talking about fucking mind control. They're talking about who's going to win the fucking next presidential election. Or where's the price of fucking crypto going? You know, that's what people are fucking talking about. They're not talking about any of the real issues. Dumb as a bag of fucking liquid diarrhea in a plastic bag full of holes. And that's a pretty fucking dumb idea. And that's how dumb people are. Hey man, listen, I want to carry my acai juice around with me. So can you get me a nice fucking holy plastic bag? You know, just cut it up with some scissors, put some punctures in it, and then let me pour my juice in there. And, you know, I'm going to carry that around with me all day. It's about how dumb people are. You're about that dumb, and the bag full of the fucking liquid shit or the juice, whatever you happen to carry around in it, might be smarter than you. It just might. It still might be smarter. It might not be an accurate metaphor. So, continuing with this idea, once again, the inauthentic woman, or the socially engineered woman, as I will be referring to them throughout the presentation, is, above all else, culturally conditioned to no longer be attracted to any of the qualities of an authentic man, the genuine man who is no longer operating under the socially engineered belief systems of the satanic ruling class. Such qualities include a high holistic intelligence, not just being able to do left brain transforms with data, okay? Not just having egg-headed left brain pseudo-intelligence. There's plenty of people out there who can crunch numbers with the left brain. There's plenty of people out there who can go and be pseudoscientists. There's plenty of people out there who can go and be fucking engineers or coders or whatever. Doesn't fucking matter if you have left brain intellect if it's divorced from holistic intelligence. If your left brain is divorced of the holistic intelligence of the creative, nurturing, compassionate, heart-based intelligence that the right brain helps to connect you with, you're not holistically intelligent. You're just an intellectual. And more likely than not, either a pseudo-intellectual in pseudoscience, in some type of left brain sphere of activity, you know, that doesn't really put you on to the real, genuine knowledge and information that you need to understand to be free. You're just going to be involved in helping the fucking system do what it wants you to do. I actually went to go see a comedy act in Philly the other night, and somebody who the comedian singled out in the audience was like proud to tell people, I'm a member of the military-industrial complex, and worded it like that. Said he works for a weapons manufacturing firm that makes like missile guidance systems or some shit, and is proud of it, telling the audience like, this is something to be proud of. I make a shit ton of money doing this. And the comedian even told him that's like not something you really should be fucking proud of, you know? And that's where people are still at in our society. I work for the military-industrial complex and I make their weapons for them. And fucking totally fucking proud of it. Imagine. So, such of the qualities of the authentic man that the inauthentic woman is being socially engineered and culturally conditioned to not want to have anything to do with. True holistic intelligence and a high level of holistic intelligence. Most of the inauthentic women of today's society do not want to even be around a truly holistically intelligent male human being. They don't want anything to do with high holistic intelligence. They're the kind of people you actually say something about what's really taking place, and it's like, I don't want to hear about that. Get that the fuck away from me. Go and talk about that elsewhere with other fucking people, but keep all that shit away from me, because I can't be bothered to think about anything like that. That's too heavy. That's too real. And hence, inauthentic. The inauthentic personality doesn't want anything to do with genuine aspects of reality that is really taking place all around us. And I'm correct about this. None of this, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to really highly emphasize, these slides are not conjecture. They're definitive, true conclusions that I have vetted endlessly with the trivia methodology, or I wouldn't put them into a slide and tell them to you. They're not my opinions. These are facts of the matter that are vetted through the trivium truth discovery process that I have in hand and wield excellently. Not just well. I wield it tremendously well. In an excellent capacity, I understand how that process works. I know how to do it. I know how to come to the correct conclusions, and I know how to publish the correct conclusions. This is not my opinion on any of these slides. This presentation contains just about zero conjecture. It's not theoretical. This is fact-based. I am presenting my findings that are true. This is not my opinion. Okay, let's get that clear. I'll let you know when I'm speculating. I'll let you know this isn't fact-based. This is my opinion. This is where I think it may be going. This is what I think may be going on. Trust me, I'll be definitively honest with you. I will be brutally and so honest you cannot misconstrue if and when it is conjecture versus when I am giving fact-based data. This is fact-based data, not my opinion. So let's go back to it and continue. The qualities that the inauthentic woman is being socially engineered in an epi-eugenics capacity to want nothing to do with. Keep that away from me over there because my masters told me don't have anything to do with that. Be attracted to this over here, which is the exact opposite. So here's the qualities that they're socially engineered to hate. And this is what I mean by the authentic woman. The woman who is socially engineered to hate these qualities in men in particular. In anybody in society, truly. But in particular, to hate these qualities in men. So that they don't breed with men like that. They don't build a familial unit like that. And, of course, they don't pass that down to the next generation. Okay, so high holistic intelligence, not left brain intellect only. High holistic intelligence. Number 2, true confidence and high self-esteem. This is different than an egotistical jerk-off. This is not the same thing as the false alpha male who is just high on himself and full of his own bullshit and is really a piece of dirt. Okay? This is true confidence. This is being sure of oneself because you know what you know. And you're correct about knowing it. You don't just think you know shit and you're actually a dumb bag of shit. Okay? That's what I mean by the egotistical jerk-off. Who thinks his shit doesn't stink, who thinks that he's always fucking right, never made a mistake, and he's a mind-controlled dolt himself who is still under the same social engineering that the women who like him are under. Okay? No holistic intelligence and is not truly confident. You scratch the surface of that confidence and then it's all fucking dog shit underneath. Okay? It's all trying to pour perfume on a pig, as Roddy Piper said in They Live. Okay? There's nothing there of substance underneath once you scratch the thin veneer off. There's not really true confidence or true self-esteem. They're actually truly a self-loathing being that's trying to make up for that with false bravado and false confidence. Okay? And that's who the inauthentic women will run to. They'll run to that egotistical jerk-off, but if there's true confidence and someone says, no, I really do have a lot of high-level skills. I really am holistically intelligent. And I don't want to be a false, humble fucking person who, like that, society keeps telling you, you gotta be completely humble. Never say you're really smart. Never say you have the answer figured out. Never say that you could really help people by telling them how their thinking is all fucked up and the direction they really should take their mind and their mental energy. Don't ever say that because that's cocky. That's arrogant. No, it isn't, motherfucker. It's true. If you're genuinely, truly confident, you truly know what you know, you vetted it with the fucking trivium, you know you're not doing harm by putting it out there, you should do that and you shouldn't be falsely fucking humble about it. Fuck false humility. That's not a virtue. This is new age bullshit. is what that is, okay? The New Age religion, which came from the fucking Satanist social engineers, told you this is how a real man acts. He says, I just know that I know nothing. And it's always just, you're always just learning and you never come to true knowledge. They're teaching you solipsism, you dumb shit. And you don't ever have any actual real confidence and say, yeah, I know what I'm talking about, and you don't. Because you're trying to provide some provisioning out there for people not to fucking go over the edge of the cliff at 1,000 fucking miles an hour. You want to point the right way out to them and say, I'm confident. Not only am I confident, I know definitively that that's the right way. No, I gotta humble myself. Should I get down on my fucking knees and put myself in a prostrate condition, prostrate pose, and say, I just know that I know nothing. Go fuck yourself with that New Age bullshit. Shove it up your ass. I'm not acting like that. I know what I fucking know. I know that I've fucking come into a place of knowledge. It was hard fought and hard won, and I busted my ass to get there. I'm not going to fucking humble myself before somebody in some fucking prone position and say, I just know that I know nothing. Go fuck yourself. You do that. You do that, false, humble asshole. You go and fucking beta cuck yourself. You're not going to pull that shit on somebody who really knows. You're going to pull that shit on a know-nothing dunce. And I'm not a know-nothing dunce. I know quite a bit about quite a bit. And I'm not going to humble myself by saying I don't know it. You don't know it. That's the fucking problem. You don't know what I know. That's the whole nature of the fucking problem. Let's get that straight. Assholes in TV land. Okay? The problem is not what I know. The problem is what you don't fucking know. I told myself I'm going to try to maintain composure. I'm going to try to take it down. I really want to go through the material. And it's very difficult for me not to get brutally upset because of the amount of ignorance I still see and hear. We're not going in the right direction, folks. We're going in the exact opposite direction we need to be going. The amount of colossal ignorance that is out there is shameful. It's fucking shameful. Okay? And we need to do way better. And we need to do way more to teach people the right things. And this is one of the things, I'm telling you, our whole fucking community does not understand. They don't understand how social engineering works. They don't understand how it has been working for decades and decades and decades and fucking millennia. They don't want to understand because it means how badly fucked up our society is. It means how badly fucked up their mind is that they don't want to unfuck. They don't want to do the work to unfuck their minds. They want to just stay in a lazy fucking condition and let it stay that way because it's more comfortable that way to just think the way you've always fucking thought and not realize, oh, your thoughts aren't your fucking own and they've been implanted into your fucking mind by mind controllers, by fucking Satanist fucking priests. By a priest class of Satanism that rules our whole fucking society. To get women to be attracted to qualities that are going to devastate our entire civilization. This priest class is conditioning women to be attracted to qualities in men that are going to devastate our entire society and to be completely revulsed by any of the qualities that might save it. Make no mistake about it, that's the essence and the crux of this agenda that I'm talking about. They're trying to breed all the qualities into men and get women to be attracted to those men so that they can perpetuate them automatically. That'll just make this society to go faster and faster into the fucking toilet bowl of tyranny. And anything that has a potential of saving this fucking society, they want women to look at and say, I think I just threw up in my mouth a little. That's what they want. That's what this priest class wants. Continuing with the list of qualities, high holistic intelligence, true confidence, and true high self-esteem. Being very vocally opinionated. I literally heard heard a woman say in a sports bar about a month ago, I want a guy who will just keep his mouth closed and let me say whatever my opinions are and won't challenge anything that I say. I literally heard a woman speak that aloud to her girlfriend in a sports pub about a month and a half ago. And I'm gonna give you a lot of anecdotes going out publicly, just socially going out in a regular environment, like a sports pub or going to see a band play or something. And I'm gonna tell you all the things because let's just straight say it. I eavesdrop. I eavesdrop on people's conversations. I do it very, very subtly. I do it very, I do it very discriminately. People will not know I'm listening to them, but I have a good side ear, and I pay attention to what people say, and I make mental notes. Or sometimes, if it's complex, I actually take my phone out and make a note to then discuss it and talk about it. And a lot of people don't think I do that. They think I don't pay attention to anything. I see everything. Okay? I'm a very smart, sly listener because I am here to observe human behavior, and most of all, I'm here to observe human thought processes, to show people where they're at. And I'm telling you, this is everywhere. It's not just in some places. This happened out in the suburbs where it's supposed to be a better dynamic than the city. It doesn't matter where you go. It's the same fucking everywhere because the same social engineering's reaching everybody. So they don't want a vocally opinionated man who is going to actually say what he thinks. Most men shut their fucking mouth and don't even say what they think anymore. Again, the anecdote I was telling you about earlier about me having to stay relatively tight-lipped is because I'm in a public situation that is involving someone who's not well physically. So there are certain environments you're just not going to start a fight. You know, even myself, you know, I have discretion and social intelligence when it comes to when is not the right time to do that. Okay? But most people do it all the time. They just shut up. They never speak out. They never challenge anybody's ignorance. If this happened on the street or in the fucking parking lot, the earful that I would have unleashed, you know, it's just like, it just happened to be in a place where I feel it's inappropriate to do that. But most guys will just shut their mouth and go along because if it means, oh, I may, you know, have a chance at a physical encounter with this woman later, I'm just going to keep my mouth closed and let her say any ignorance that I want, not that she wants, and never give my own opinion about this person being wrong, being culturally conditioned, holding an opinion that is completely, dogmatic and wrong. No, they'll just be quiet, you know, just to go along with whatever the scenario is. The next characteristic, having very masculine features and an overall masculine look. This is even seen as something that is not desired or something that is seen as attractive. Especially in big cities today. This isn't as true in rural areas or even suburban areas, but it's extremely true in urban environments, where if you actually look masculine, then that's seen as a negative trait instead of a positive one. You have to actually look feminine to attract the inauthentic woman in those social scenarios. You know, they don't want anybody looking too mannish, because then, God forbid, you're probably the epitome of toxic masculinity, which is a socially engineered bullshit thing to begin with. Not to say that there aren't negative qualities if you don't embody the sacred feminine dynamic and you go too far into the masculine. You can, do things like push people too far, be too overbearing, controlling, etc. And this is what our society is largely based on, regardless of whether men or women are involved in the running of it. I call it the occultocracy. Some people call it an oligarchy. It's more than an oligarchy. Yes, it's a small percentage of people. It's not a matriarchy or a patriarchy. Men and women are in the occultocracy, the occult ruling class, and it's a technocratic occultocracy. They're technocratic wizards. They do the social engineering that they do through technology to propagate the ideas that they're going to put out there epigenetically to then make society change in the direction that they want it to change. That's the whole Epi-Eugenics agenda, and it's conducted through a technocracy that is also an occultocracy. The occult technological ruling class. That's who runs things. That's who this whole mechanism is directed by. And again, they want most women, the inauthentic women of our society, responding to a man who actually has masculine traits and characteristics and carries himself in a masculine way. They want that seen as, that's horrible. Keep it away from me. I want a totally effeminate guy. I want a guy who is that, like, beta cuck, effeminate, talking with a lisp type guy. Okay? So that's another quality they're trying to eradicate. Another quality is independence in a male. Somebody who is, just values freedom, wants to be independent, doesn't want to be a cuck on a leash, and just led everywhere, by the woman who's leading him. He wants to be his own man. He wants the woman, potentially, that he is around her with to be their own woman. He wants freedom and independence. He doesn't want one dominating the other. And he certainly doesn't want to be led around on a leash, And this is what, again, most women are culturally engineered to hate, and they're culturally engineered to want the opposite, which is a man that they can just walk around on a leash. Years ago, I literally heard a woman say, I'm not really for slavery per se, but I am for men being my slaves. Literally said that aloud, and was not joking, was not saying that tongue-in-cheek, wasn't saying it facetiously, actually looking at her friend in the face, not knowing that I'm listening in, said it right to her friend in a totally serious voice, not joking around, not laughing, no ha 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 afterward, said, as clearly as a bell, I heard her say to her friend, I'm not really into slavery per se, but I am into men being slaves for me, to me. I want them to be my slave. Imagine this. And we think we're going to get out of this situation. We think we're going to beat these social engineers. We think we're anywhere close to the place that we need to be as an entire species, mentally, in heart-based intelligence, in behavior and action, in courage and right action. You think we're anywhere even remotely fucking close to beating these Satanists? You gotta be. It's a laughing fucking joke that isn't even that fucking funny, ladies and gentlemen. It's pathetic. It's fucking pathetic. And I'm telling you, I'm going to have more anecdotes and possibly even a social experiment coming. We'll see what happens. The next characteristic that they're conditioned to hate is a rebellious attitude toward authority. Women want men today who will just go along with anything the government and the media says. They don't want people looking at authority with skepticism or even disdain and saying, nobody's the authority of me. Authority is even an imaginary construct of an idea that doesn't exist in nature and isn't real and certainly isn't morally, justifiable in any way. It's not morally legitimate. No, they want women who want men that'll argue endlessly about their fucking football teams and then get in a fight over that with one of the other dumb fucking slaves arguing over some shit child game. But then, they'll think that's funny and endearing. But then if they talk shit against the government and say they have no right to do anything that they're doing, then all of a sudden there's some fucking terrorist. And we need to stay as far away from them as possible, and they get the hand in the face, They're engineering women to drive society straight into shackles, straight into chains, straight into bondage, straight into tyranny. And believe me, this plan is working perfectly. It's not only working perfectly, it's accelerating in the modern day. It has accelerated drastically from where it was when I made this presentation in 2016, 8 years ago. 8 years ago, I delivered this presentation. And let me tell you something. The world hasn't learned a fucking goddamn thing from it. Not a fucking thing. What did I bust my ass for fucking months to even make this fucking presentation for, is what I asked myself. That's why I'm re-delivering it and trying to smash it into people's fucking mud monkey brains harder. But all it's doing is, it's like splattering shit with a hammer. Because that's all that's in there, man. That's all that's fucking in there. You could pound it all day long with a fucking jackhammer and all you're doing is splattering shit. That's the sad fact of this fucking matter. People are no different today than they were 8 years ago. As a matter of fact, they're drastically fucking dumber. And I think delivering this again is going to get people to understand it. They're beyond understanding. But I'm still going to tell the truth. Is how it's going to work. See, doesn't matter whether you understand it. It's still true, dumb fucks. It's still true. See, the truth is independent of you or I. I had people telling me, Mark says he doesn't do this for people. He does it for the truth. But there wouldn't be truth because you'd have to communicate it to people. People have to understand the truth, or otherwise it doesn't exist. Wrong! Wrong! The truth exists independently of all of us and would exist whether we're here or not. And for people still not to understand that is unacceptable. And means you're not getting what I've been laying out here for 17 fucking years. Imagine someone saying to me after all these years, you really serve people. You're not really just serving the truth because people have to be present for the truth to exist. You don't understand a motherfucking word I've ever said! And then people wonder why I'm so fucking angry. I've been wasting my life for 17 fucking years, and the morons out there still can't hear a word I've ever said! And I'm supposed to be perfectly fucking calm. After all that time of my life, flushed down the shitter! The next characteristic, the last one that I'm listing, placing a very high value on individual freedom. Women don't want that. The inauthentic woman doesn't want that because that's dangerous in today's society. And they're so socially engineered that at the subconscious level, they know that to even be for true human freedom, you're essentially putting your life on the line, you're putting skin in the game, you're putting yourself and potentially your family in jeopardy, and they're fucking cowards. Through and through, balls to bones, whether they have balls, don't have balls, think of themselves as a woman, identify as female, doesn't fucking matter. They're fucking cowards. Through and through, in their essence, they have no courage. And they don't want anybody else with courage because all it would do is throw their cowardice into sharp relief, like the fucking loser that they are. And so that's why you got a whole fucking society of cowardly fucking men who won't stand up and speak out. They're ballless fucking cowards because they're chasing the inauthentic woman that wants them to be ballless fucking cowards. Don't you get it yet, dumbasses out there? You don't fucking get it still. And then telling me, I'm for the ballless cowards of the world. I'm here to help them. Oh, yeah. I'm here to help people. Don't you know? But Mark, truth wouldn't even exist if it weren't for people. People have to exist for truth to exist. And then in the next breath, in the next thought, you can't see the Satanism of that statement. You can't see that statement is definitionally, by essence, satanic. You're saying I determine by my existence the truth exists. Think about the Satanism inherent in the thought itself. People determine through their existence truth. Truth doesn't exist unless people exist. Imagine this. This is why this species deserves to be exterminated, and I wish the Satanists the best of luck in their agenda. I wish you guys the best of luck, because quite honestly, you guys are doing the right thing and making this fucking golem species go away. I wish you the best. I wish you the best, because you guys, you're doing what you're charged to fucking do by the essence of what you fucking take into your fucking mind and soul. And guess what? That makes you authentic. The Satanist social engineer class are not inauthentic people. They're who they are. They're absolutely genuine. They know who they are. They act like who they are. They don't pretend to be somebody else. And they're genuine to themselves and their cause. And that's why they're winning. That's why they're actually winning. They can say, we're winning, and mean it and be correct. Our side, you know what our side does? We have nothing correct. We have nothing, none of the requirements fulfilled, and we're still going, we're winning! I have to get it. Jokingly retarded child. It's got to sound more like Ralph Wiggum on acid. Because that's what it is. The truth movement is Ralph Wiggum, and not even on acid. Forget that. Because that is, LSD 25 is a helpful psychedelic compound if used in the right context. So let's not even say it's retarded ass Ralph Wiggum, who's the son of a dumb fucking fat cop, on Tide Pods. I mean, that's Ralph taking the Tide Pods and popping them like fucking popcorn, and then saying, with his hand up his nose to his elbow, we're winning! That's our side. That's the truth and freedom movement. You guys are you're a Tide Pod drunk. You're a Tide Pod high Ralph Wiggum with his hand, with his arm up to the elbow in the fucking nostril, screaming, we're winning. That's how dumb you guys look and behave. Is that contemptuous enough? Did I express my contempt? I mean, I really want to get the contempt across here, folks, so I hope it's coming through to viewers out in internet land and TV land. I hope the contempt is trending. Is the contempt trending? Because I hope that it is. I hope you're getting that. Okay? Because that's what I think of our side. We have the shittiest team in the whole fucking history of the league. Forget this season. We have the shittiest team in history, and we think we're winning. Retarded fucking joke children is what the people of this movement are. So those are the characteristics. The modern woman is being socially engineered to hate and detest. Let me repeat them. High holistic intelligence, true confidence, true self-esteem, being vocally opinionated and speaking the truth, having masculine features and a masculine look, a masculine personality, being very independent, being rebellious toward authority, and placing a very high value on individual freedom. Now, I probably left out a lot of other characteristics that they're being taught to hate, but taking those into consideration, would you say that those are the characteristics that we need if we're ever going to be truly free? And if women are socially engineered to hate those things, then men follow what the women want. They become those characteristics. They display those characteristics. They breed with those women because they're so addicted to the physical aspects and wanting to, have sex and wanting to have children, etc. And then the next generations of kids, by rote, just by having parents like that, are going to end up the exact opposite of all those things and have all the characteristics that the social engineers want. That's controlled breeding. That's eugenics. And people are too fucking stupid to see how it works. You're too dumb to see how the chess game that's being waged against you actually operates and how the chess masters are playing you like fucking pawns that you are. Dumbass bags of shit out there. And no, nobody's going to tell me that I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about because I was on this fucking team that's beating your fucking dumb fucking asses. I was on their team. I was helping them beat your fucking ass before I switched sides. God knows fucking why, because I was on the fucking winning team and I defected to the fucking losers. I'm a fucking glutton for punishment that likes losing, is what it is. Because I defected to the team with no chance of winning. Dumb people will never win. Apathetic people will never win. Cowardly people will never win. People who want to continuously buck nature will never win. Fucking people who are fucking continuously fucking sick and don't want to become well will never win. People who are serving immorality instead of understanding and serving true morality will never win. People addicted to fucking just identifying with relationships instead of truth and saying dumb shit like, if people go away, the truth goes away with it, will never win. It's satanic ideas. That's what you gotta purge from your fucking personality, is Satanism. And man, the people out there, you guys got it in spades. You got it through and through, and you're latched onto it like it's your lifeline, like it's your life's blood. And it's that which is flushing you down the toilet like the piece of fucking shit you are. And that's where you belong. You belong fucking flushed. Such traits are, of course, seen as highly dangerous to the goals of the ruling class, the satanic ruling class, who wish especially to see society produce weakened men, since weakened, emasculated men are very unlikely to ever resist the state, while strong, independent men are more likely to resist its control and its manipulation tactics. Do you get it? They are having people by themselves, through mind control that they inculcate them into, to literally develop the characteristics and personality traits that will actually cull themselves. Imagine this. And imagine, 8 years have gone by, and what has changed in society? Do you think people understand this? Do you think this is common sense fucking knowledge? Less people understand this. More people are resistant to the understanding of this knowledge than ever. Not only haven't you learned it, you've become more hardened and resistant and ignorant, and you're more against the learning of this knowledge than you ever were. Because of how fucking socially engineered and fucking brainwashed you are. You brainwashed fucking dolts. Brainwashed fucking dolts. In this whole movement. Forget the culture at large. In the culture at large, it's just absolute fucking mud for brains, people. And even in this fucking movement, the people are all brainwashed about this dynamic. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about regarding it. And they're resistant to learning the truth about it. Let's look at the qualities of the authentic human versus the inauthentic human. So I've made a simple chart about this. There's 4 categories of inauthentic beings, whether they are biologically male or biologically female. There's the inauthentic beta male and female. There's the inauthentic so-called alpha male and female. And then there's the true or authentic or true alpha, or what I call spiritual alpha, male and female. Okay? So we're looking at the top row is all female sex or female physical gender. The bottom row is all male sex or male physical gender. The first two categories are the two inauthentic categories. The last category in green is the authentic category. Okay? The inauthentic beta so-called female. I'm putting female in quotes because it's the inauthentic female. The one that the socially engineered, that the social engineer class, the satanic ruling class, actually conditioned to be that way. The inauthentic beta female is conditioned to submit to the dominator type alpha male, all in quotes. They're not the real alphas. They're not the real males. They're completely false. So this is the traditional sort of beta, mousy woman just following along with the bad boy alpha male, okay? Being quiet, being the more submissive wife, the submissive girlfriend, and they're looking for that dominator type, okay? That the traditional feminists saw as the male dominator member of the patriarchy. They're looking for that guy to tell them what to do, tell them how to behave, tell them how to dress, tell them how to act, tell them when and where to be, up their ass all day, putting a leash on them because they're so fucking insecure in their own masculinity. This is genuinely the fucking guy who wants to overcompensate for all of his inadequacies. Because he doesn't have the real, true characteristics of a real masculine figure. Okay? So the inauthentic beta female is conditioned to submit. So we're in the top left column here. The top row all the way to the left. The inauthentic beta female is conditioned to submit to the dominator type alpha male. Now, he would be diagonally across from that. Okay? So down at a diagonal, the inauthentic alpha male. We'll get to that. Okay? But let's look at the inauthentic alpha female. Okay? Conditioned to desire the dominator type alpha male or to control the submissive beta male. Okay? So the inauthentic beta on the upper left wants the center bottom, the inauthentic alpha male. In the upper middle box, the inauthentic alpha female wants either one of the inauthentic males at the bottom. If they're still in a desire to be controlled, but still be presented as alpha female qualities or characteristics in this mind-controlled condition, this socially engineered state that we're talking about of all inauthentic beings are in, whether they be male or female, she either wants to be dominated by the alpha male or to dominate the inauthentic beta male, okay? So she wants one of the inauthentic male types to either dominate or be dominated by. So then at the bottom, the first bottom red block, the inauthentic beta male is conditioned to submit to dominator type alpha female in quotes, okay? That would be diagonally up from there. Okay, you would go diagonally upward to inauthentic alpha female. This is what the inauthentic beta male of our socially conditioned society wants to gravitate toward, because the women who are looking for a beta cuck to control will gravitate toward these type of guys. And those type of guys are all too glad to give them that control as long as they could be around them, as long as they could potentially have physical encounters with them, whatever, be seen with them. They have no real true self-esteem, no true confidence, and they just want, to tag along. And often, I'll tell you what they actually call them. You can go and look it up. They call them simps, and they call them their purse. Literally call them that in women's forums. And I've heard women say it in person. Where's the purse? And she's talking about a guy who they're just out with who's paying for everything. That's it. And the other term that they call them on social media is simps. You're simping for them. You're their simpleton. You're going to sympathize with everything they say and shut up and just let them speak their opinion. Never contradict them. Never do anything to voice your own actual opinion. And you're just simping for them. You're just a fucking simpleton. And guess what? The majority of men in our culture are these fucking losers. Don't have an opinion of their own, don't know a fucking thing on their own, only worried about the latest sports ball shit game on the fucking shit box. Out fucking drinking the fucking, numb themselves out, burn their fucking brain, do everything that whatever inauthentic woman they're out with tells them to fucking do, as long as they can come along for the ride and be seen with them, Imagine. That's some guy's life. And then people think, oh, well, the traditional alpha male, that's better than that. No, not really. Because it's the same thing. You're just playing the fucking dominator game. You're either trying to dominate, the inauthentic alpha female or to control and dominate the inauthentic beta female. Still playing the control game, still doesn't have any real holistic intelligence, still doesn't have any real self-esteem or real confidence, and all they're out to do is control, and be seen as some fucking macho bravado type, that you don't know a fucking thing, you're not genuine, you're just a jerk-off, that's all. You're just a Satanist. You're a de facto Satanist. So the middle column here is really the de facto Satanists. There are people who think they're in the club, who think they're winning, who think that they're the alphas. They think they're the dominators. They think they're the apex of our species. And what you just are, you're a dumb, socially engineered, brainwashed class of fools. Thinking that fucking dominating people is the way that you prove that you're superior somehow, when you're actually just a smacked fucking ass clown. That's all. Nothing but that, and never probably will be anything but that. You'll probably die in that condition like the fucking garbage ape that you are. Because that's what these people are. They're fucking monkeys made of sewage. That's all they are, and that's all they'll ever be. As a matter of fact, all four of those red blocks, that's all you guys fucking are. Because if you could arguably see it as even worse to be the beta cucks in human relationships and want to be dominated by other people, want to be fucking towed around by the fucking neck on a leash. When the real answer is you shouldn't be playing the fucking control game, because the control game puts both parties into slavery and bondage and hell. And people still haven't figured that the fuck out yet because they're too dumb to figure it out. That's the problem with humanity as a species. It's just too dumb to figure this out, which is why I'm one of the only people that actually puts out the real way that things are, because I've determined the real way things are, not saying I made it that way. I've determined it to be that way by study, by enough intensive study and breakdown of the data, of the grammar, of the raw material, which other people not only do they not do that process, they don't even have that data in hand to do it. And then they want to come to conclusions and publish their fucking imbecilic, opinionated conclusions that they pulled out of their ass, instead of actually determine what the truth is with intensive study of incredibly large aggregate amounts of data that they eclectically brought together and gathered. No. They don't want to even have the fucking data and say that they know what they're talking about and then start fucking trying to influence other people when they don't know a fucking thing themselves. The only position on this chart anyone wants to even begin to strive to be in is the far right columns. If you're a biological female, you want to be toward that top right box of the authentic woman, or what I call the spiritual alpha female, that is free of social engineering conditioning and does not play the control game, doesn't seek to dominate the inauthentic beta male cuck, doesn't seek to be dominated by the inauthentic alpha male, etc. Doesn't desire to control and cuck the beta male. You know, you don't want to play the control game. You don't want to be a master or a slave. You want to be truly free, and you want others to be truly free. And to do that, you got to be out of the social conditioning. That means you're not going to try to play your role, your identified role in society, or your perceived role in society to try to control someone else, to try to just get what you want. You know? You're going to be genuine. You're going to be yourself. You're going to be truly intelligent. You're going to be truly caring. You're going to be truly courageous. You're going to take right action. And then the universe is going to provide based on doing that. Not just trying to get over on somebody, or to try to be taken care of, or to try to dominate somebody else. You're going to be independent. You're going to be strong. You're going to be fit. You're going to be well. You're going to be psychologically strong. You're going to be spiritually strong. Hence, the spiritual alpha being. Other people have different names for this. I forget what they call it in other, men and women's breakdown of things. I've heard it, I think, called, I don't even know, like, not gamma. It's outside of, it's like, I don't know whether it's the Z type or something. Somebody will come up with it, or somebody can look it up and let me know. But they actually have a name for this, but I don't like their terminology for it. I call it the spiritual alpha being, okay? And that's the same for men and women. You'll notice the same thing, okay? The inauthentic male is the exact same definition. The spiritual alpha male is free of social conditioning and does not play the control game. You're out of the mind control. You're out of Satanism. You've conquered Satanism in yourself. You've conquered Satanism in your own mind, in your own heart, in your own actions. And this is the problem. If we looked at this on a graph that was, true to form as far as the actual ratio and percentage of people, these green squares would be barely visible on the screen. Again, it's not who's socially conditioned. The question is who isn't socially conditioned. If we want to look at how many people in all of society are actually occupied population-wise, the green squares, almost the entire human population will be in those red squares. And we might have a couple of pixels inside those green squares. Okay? It's negligible. It's almost nothing. The overwhelming vast majority, not only of women, but of men as well, are these inauthentic types, whether they're beta or, quote, alpha. They're either playing the control game, they're completely socially conditioned, they're under satanic influence and mind control, and all they want to do is either dominate or be cucked. And neither one of those positions is healthy. Neither one of them is psychologically well. And certainly neither one of them is spiritually well. They're sick. The red squares represent illness. The green squares represent health. Do you get that? I don't think people do. See, people say, yeah, I get it. And then I see them acting completely the opposite. Which I have to then conclude you're paying lip service to say, yeah, I get it, like a student who ain't really paying attention in class and is telling you he's paying attention. And then you say, well, then please tell me the material and explain it to me, and then display how you're going to conduct that in your own way, in your own actions, in your own life. And then it's like drool coming out the mouth, silence, and then doing all the same fucking behaviors. So should I conclude that the class out there understands? Or should I conclude you're dumb motherfuckers paying yapping lip service to what I've been saying for the last 17 years? You're not helping change fucking society. It's getting worse and worse. Do I think you understand the fucking material? I think you're dumb dolts that don't understand a fucking thing I've said for the last 17 fucking years. That's what I think. The vast overwhelming percentage of people out there. Not all of them. Not a blanket statement, just like this isn't a blanket statement. But it's the overwhelming vast majority out there, because I'm telling you, the shit that I hear on a daily basis confirms it for me. I don't need to hear anybody's ill-informed fucking opinion. All I need to hear is all the things I'm barraged with societally. every single fucking day, everywhere. Doesn't matter where I go. I could travel, I could stay home, I could be in the city, I could be in the suburbs, I could be in the country. It's the same fucking everywhere. Don't tell me it's dependent on geographically where I'm at. Don't tell me it's dependent on whether it's urban or fucking, country. It doesn't matter. It's the same fucking satanic thought everywhere. Everywhere. Because it reaches everybody through all the fucking forms of media that they take in on a daily fucking basis. I know how to come to accurate conclusions about where human consciousness is at. It's one of my fortes. I'm an expert in that. That's all I do, is study the dynamic of consciousness. And I know it well. I know it like the sun's coming up in the fucking morning tomorrow on the eastern horizon. And I'm telling you, the vast majority of people have no fucking clue how this social engineering program works. They can't see it because they're not even close to being outside of it. They're completely ensconced within it, so much that they can't see the prison walls. That's why nobody talks about this. That's why everybody's talking about Biden versus Trump. That's why everybody's talking about we need to grow our own food. That's why everybody's talking about, well, who's going to make the next killer crypto? Thinking that these are solutions. This fucking community is a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke, and the joke's on fucking you. Let's look at how some of the programming dynamics that are specifically directed against women work in this programmed culture. The first that really goes to work upon the young, impressionable minds of the youth of particularly females is called princess programming. And a lot of other researchers have done a lot of research into this. They want to get the kids into a satanic mindset when they're in what is known as the formative years. Once again, the other thing that drives me absolutely crazy is when I hear people open their mouth and a fire hose of liquid shit comes out of it when they talk about what they laughingly believe human nature is to be. And I don't know how many more fucking times I need to go over it again and again and again and again and again and again and again. And it will be coming up later in this presentation. And I'll tell you what, when I get to that slide, I think I'm going to beat mercilessly. I'm going to do it now, and then I'm going to do it again when that slide comes up later in the presentation. I am going to unmercifully barrage the audience with... I'm probably going to just rant for at least an hour and a half on that one slide when it comes to what is human nature. Because if you don't understand yet that that is a crux, it is a linchpin, it is a absolute vital determining factor of all of my work. If you haven't gotten that yet, I don't know what is ever going to beat it into your dumb monkey brain. If you still believe one way or another that human nature is either naturally good or naturally bad, you're an enemy of mine. You're an enemy. I'm going to just come out and say it just like that. If you believe human nature is good, you're my enemy. You are an enemy to me and my work. And infinitely worse than being an enemy to me is being an enemy to my work. Because being an enemy of my work means you're an enemy of all natural law, and that means that you stand against the Creator. And if you believe human nature is evil, you are an enemy of me, you are an enemy of my work, and you are an enemy of natural law. Okay? So if you believe either one of those things, you are my mortal enemy. Let's just say it that strongly. That if you're so dumb that today, after all the information that has come out on what makes people behave the way that they behave, if you still believe somebody just out of the fucking womb is either good or evil, you're my fucking enemy. That's how dumb you are. That your ignorance is actually evil. It constitutes evil, It condones evil and it assists evil by how dumb you are. So let's get it straight once and for all. There's only one nature of human beings. We are a programmable species through information. The information that we become programmed with specifically in our formative years will largely go on to determine the characteristics, the personality, and the behaviors moving forward into adulthood of that being. And if there's good programming that goes in, good behavior comes out on the other side on the screen called life. See, if you have a projector and you want good outcome on the projector, well then your filming has to be good, your editing has to be good. You don't scream at the fucking thing on the screen when you did shitty work in all of the production environment. If you did shitty filming, you had a shitty script, you shot it with a shitty camera, you did shitty editing work and shitty sound capture, and then you project all that on the screen, what do you think you're going to have? A great fucking movie? You're going to have a great documentary? You're going to have a great fucking podcast? You're going to have shit. That's what you fucking put into it, so that's what you got out of it. Conversely, if you did really well in all the pre-production stuff and the production stuff, you're going to have great work out on the screen. But you're not going to scream at the fucking screen. If you don't like what you're seeing, it doesn't matter. It's already printed. You got to go back and you got to undo and redo the shit that you did in the production environment and then repress it, re-edit it, put it back out on whatever film or digital medium you're showing it on, and then project it back on the screen. Well, this is the same thing as life. When you have bad behavior going on in the world, which is on the screen, you don't scream at the fucking bad behavior. Those are the symptoms. That's what's already printed. That's what's already exported. That's already on the fucking screen. You got to go back and change it in the fucking work you did before you printed it as behavior. And that's information that comes into the mind and gets formulated as opinions, preferences, likes, dislikes, knowledge, ignorance, etc. And how does it express? It expresses through the behavior of the being that then becomes the aggregate condition of the world and all of its people. This isn't rocket science, dumbasses. This is simple fucking understanding of how natural law works. That should be common sense, and it should be taught to fucking nursery school children instead of me having to try to explain it to other fucking so-called adults that are as dumb as a bag of horse shit. That I've been explaining it to for 17 years and they still haven't learned a fucking thing because they're so fucking dumb. Get your head out from up your fucking ass, learn, and then teach other fucking people the way that it is so that they'll fucking learn and stop exporting bad behavior onto the screen of life. The most important part of the programmable state is the first 6.5 to 7 years of a child's development, which is called the formative years. The formative years. The word format, which is what you do to a hard drive or a solid state drive before you start putting information into it, that then determines the quality of what's on the drive, what might be going on the screen, what might be going out to the internet, what might be going out to the fucking printer, is going to be determined by the file system that you lay down into the storage device with the format. It's the same way for a child's mind in their developmental years. That is their format going on to the hard drive that is the brain, the mind, the psyche of the child, that then information's going to come in, and in the formative years, the child's in a hypnagogic state, which is a state in brain patterns that is in between a full waking and thinking and cognitive and analytical state versus a sleeping and dreamlike state, or how the subconscious mind works. So you're floating in between those states in brainwave patterns. It's called a hypnagogic state. And you can't really filter information in that state. So whatever goes in during that critical time period, the formative years from birth through approximately 7 years of age, It's critical. It's a critical developmental time period for a child's mind because they're incapable of truly filtering the information. They take it all in and it sits there on the hard drive. And they're unable to do logical transforms with the mind until the brain develops after 7 years all the way through adulthood. That's why it's very important not to put shit into the mind during the formative years. It's important not to put Satanism into the mind during the formative years. It's important not to put ugly, sick, satanic fucking programming into the mind in the child's formative first 7 years of life. Because if you do, then you're going to be digging yourself out of a fucking hole for the rest of your adult life. You're going to be in the negative state. Not only are you going to be at ground level, you're going to be in a fucking hole that you got to dig yourself the fuck out of for the rest of your life, probably. And let me just say this, folks, as a tangent and an aside. Everybody should just shut the fuck up about what you think about my fucking anger. I'm tired of hearing it. I'm just going to just say that now because it popped into my mind. And when people say, Mark's angry because of this, or because of this, or because of this, and he became a different person after this or that. You don't know a fucking thing about me, motherfucker. Stop talking your ignoramus shit. You don't know why I feel the way I do? Don't psychoanalyze me. You're horrible at it. Don't quit your fucking shitty ass fucking day job as a fucking lumberjack or a fucking pipe cleaner or whatever the fuck you do. Don't quit your fucking day job. Keep your fucking day job. You're far better at that than psychoanalysis. You wouldn't be a fucking good psychiatrist. You wouldn't be a fucking good psychologist. Keep your mouth closed about shit you know nothing about. You don't know what drives my fucking anger. You haven't lived my life and you know nothing about what goes on in my private fucking life. You're a dumb fucking dolt. Don't quit your day job to become a psychiatrist or a psychologist because you know nothing about those fucking fields. And certainly don't try to psychoanalyze me. You're horrible at it and you're completely incorrect. I'm angry for the reasons I told you I'm angry. Doing something for 17 years, being correct about it, predicting everything that did occur, and having no progress in the understanding of the minds of dumb shitheads that my freedom is largely dependent upon. My freedom is not separate. It's interdependent. It's not completely independent and separate from the ignorance of all the dumb motherfuckers out there in this community and in the wider human community. My freedom depends on that. So don't tell me why I'm fucking angry about events that happen in my life. You don't know anything about what I've done, the shadow work I've done, what I've been through, what my fucking personal life experience has been, what I've worked out, anything. You know zero about it. You know zero about where I'm the fuck at. Because you hear me getting angry on this show. Because of other people's ignorance. Stop trying to psychoanalyze and take what I'm saying at fucking face value. Because sometimes the cigar that you just shoved up your ass is just a cigar that you just shoved up your ass, moron. So keep the fucking cigar up your fucking ass. As a matter of fact, why don't you take it out of your ass and shove it in your fucking mouth and keep it there? Because that's where it belongs. Plug your fucking mouth up and keep your fucking mouth closed about shit you know nothing about because you don't know me, fuckhead. You don't know me, personally. I'm angry for the reasons I fucking told you. I've been doing this work for 17 fucking years, and the morons of this fucking world won't listen. That's why I'm fucking angry. Ass fuck. So stop fucking trying to psychoanalyze me. You don't know anything that's going on in the workings of this fucking mind. You're, quite frankly, not sophisticated enough to understand my mind. Get that straight. Okay? So, I just wanted to rant on that for a moment because I'm tired of fucking people telling me and saying publicly to other fucking people that don't know me, he's just angry about this. No, jerk off. I'm telling you the reason that I'm fucking angry. I've had enough of other people's ignorance, and I've busted my fucking ass for 17 fucking years to bring people the correct information, and they don't want to hear it because their dumb, know-nothing fucking selves think that they know better than all my years of fucking research. You think you're smarter and you know better, and you're a dumb fucking dolt that doesn't know a fucking thing because you haven't even taken in a fucking thing, and you want to have an opinion on it. You're a dumb know-nothing who wants to have a fucking opinion, and your opinion is ill-read and uninformed. And I'm not going to listen to bullshit when I know what the fuck I'm talking about because I was working with these social engineers. I don't know it from book knowledge, I know it from personal fucking experience. So don't tell me why I'm angry. I'm telling you why I'm angry. And I have every right to be for what I've done. And I also want to qualify. I should not have said that this is a completely thankless job. That's untrue, okay? I'm going to go back and take that back and apologize for that. Many people thank me for the work that I do. There's much thanks involved in this job. There's much gratitude involved in what I do. I should not have said that. It comes across as that I don't appreciate the thanks that I have gotten and the very generous gifts and donations that I've gotten over the years. I am thankful for that, and I do appreciate that. And there are some people who are very thankful for what I have done on this show and in all of my work. So it was not a correct and blanket sounding statement that I said when I said this work is thankless. It is in the overall change that I see in society, it is completely ungratifying. Okay? We have not changed as a society, as a species. And we're nowhere near that change. We're so far away from it, it's a laughing stock fucking joke. And I'm serious when I say that. And I do mean that. But I should have been more diplomatic when I said this is thankless, because it is not. So please, for the people who have helped, who have paid attention, and who have been thankful, hear what I'm saying there, okay? Continuing with the material, you have to understand we're a programmable species. The hypnagogic state in the first 7 years is going to be very, very influential in what characteristics and traits come out in the personality in human adulthood. So if it's hit with massive, erroneous, incorrect, and satanic programming in the formative state, what kind of characteristics, personality traits, and then ultimately behavior do you think is going to come out on the other side of the child's early developmental years? You think it's going to be good? That's not how it works. Good programming goes in, good behavior comes out. Bad programming goes in, garbage behavior comes out. Well, what we're going to talk about is what is the garbage programming that's been going in through the social engineering class that's pumping it out there and inculcating people into it, that's leading to all the fucking garbage behaviors that come out during adulthood. Because this is where it starts. It starts right at birth. It starts at birth, it continues on through early childhood, and then it comes out in horrible fucking manifested behaviors in adulthood. This isn't rocket science, folks. I keep saying that. This is not rocket science. This is something that if you apply your fucking mind to and you read a lot about and you gather the grammar and you understand it, you're going to understand how this works. This is not advanced fucking knowledge. This is the very basic building blocks that you have to understand how humanity is being manipulated. The inauthentic woman has been socially engineered to want to be placated, revered, and pampered. That's what the princess is. The princess doesn't have to do anything on her own. The princess is just taken care of. The princess has whatever she wants. The princess looks pretty, and that's what she's there to do. And then to attract the guy that has all the resources, and, they live happily ever after. It's all bullshit programming that young, impressionable girls then take in, and they become completely programmed women by the time they're in their late teen years. The inauthentic woman has been socially engineered to want to be placated, revered, and pampered. Princess programming is huge in Western culture in particular, but really everywhere throughout the world. In Western culture, it's very significant and starts at a very, very early age. I'm going to say it starts right out of the womb. It starts in the formative years of a child's development. Through this programming, young women are often taught to value only what can be gained for themselves through relationships with men, to seek only men who can, quote, provide for them, to place paramount importance on their own physical appearance, to, quote, lure a male, and to devalue the importance of their own, meaning the female's, intelligence, to seek money as their main value system through a man, and even to think that, quote, no man is good enough for them. These are all the socially engineered characteristics that are inculcated into the socially engineered woman that is part of what is known as princess programming. I want to go over these and take them one at a time, because this is how important this is. This starts so young that this is almost in every single female. Not everyone, not a blanket statement. Largely, almost entirely in biological females, this is taught, this gets ingrained, this gets inculcated, and then it comes out in horrific behaviors in female adulthood. They're taught, they're socially conditioned to be placated. That means to be told, yes, 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 for the man around them to be a yes man, a yes man. Never to tell them, you can't have that, or that's out of line, or you're acting inappropriately, or that's something that you believe that you think, but it's actually been socially engineered, you know. And then as soon as the princess programming kicks in, as soon as a guy is saying any of those things to that woman, out of my life. Kick him out of the castle. Kick him out of the whole kingdom. You're not to be spoken to. You're not to be seen. You become a non-entity, because unless I'm around yes men who placate and revere my very presence and existence, go fuck yourself and get away from me. And you know how many women out there, this is what they are. And yes, you know, people will be like, Mark, you seem to care about that. So I don't give a shit what people behave like. See, the difference between me and other guys, people will say, oh, I don't really care what other people think about me. I really genuinely don't care what anybody thinks about me. And I mean anybody. I mean people I'm friends with. I mean family members. I mean people around me. People I've known for years. I don't give a fuck what you think about me. Ask any of my personal friends if they think I really give a fuck about what people think about me. And they'll tell you, I don't give a fuck about what people think about me. Do you know why? Because I'm right. I'm correct. And that's all that matters, because being correct leads to right action and true morality. The more you are incorrect, the dumber you are, the more you are wrong about just about anything, the more you do not understand how the world and natural law works, and you remain in that set of ignorance, the more you don't understand programming and social engineering and mind control, the more you are going to make bad judgment calls, bad decisions, and it's going to come out as bad behavior against other people, and you're going to condone bad things against other people that you have no right to condone. You're going to become a fucking dumb fucking statist moron, or a dumb fucking person who doesn't understand how any of the dynamics of the world works, even if they're not for statism, and doesn't really know how to change things for the better. All they know how to do is either complain about them or come up with completely dumb fucking erroneous pseudo solutions that'll never lead humanity down the right path in society, in the world, in the future. Okay? That's what makes me different than other people saying they don't really care what people think about them, but they do. The reason I really don't care what people think about what I am like, what I say, who I am, is because I don't need their approval. I have the trivium in hand to be able to determine truth from falsehood. And that's all that ultimately matters. And my comfort and my thankfulness and my gratitude comes from the only thing that was ever truly in life and in any tradition prescribed as being the path to freedom. And that was knowing the truth. Even in the biblical traditions, when the disciples all said, but we're slaves to the Roman Empire and the Roman authorities. What do we have to do to conquer this? What do we have to do to be truly free? And they're talking about physical freedom. They're talking about physical freedom, like being free from the political authorities of their time. It's not an allegory. And the Christ figure biblically in the New Testament says, know the truth, and the truth will set you free. That's why I'm free mentally. That's why I'm free spiritually. I know the truth. I know the truth about what I need to know the truth about. I don't need to know the truth about every single thing that ever existed, nor do I claim to. I know the truth about what leads to human freedom, and I'm correct about it. I don't think I know it. It's not my ill-informed, unread, opinionated, dumb shit opinion that I know it. I actually know it in nature, in reality. That's the difference. That's why I'm thankful and grateful for that, and I don't need anybody else's opinion or approval regarding me, my personality, anything I say, anything I fucking teach, because I vet it with the trivia method. And therefore I know that I know it. I don't believe that I know it like some other dumb dolts. There is a method of actually determining and knowing whether you have the truth in hand or whether you're believing in fucking bullshit and fantasy. I was listening to InfoWars the other day. It's a good anecdote for this time and for this information that I'm covering, this presentation. And Alex was taking calls, and one of the callers called in and said, listen, I think you're great. I think your information's awesome. I think you are, out there and really leading the charge and everything. And he said, but let me ask you this. Tell me how there's so much conflicting information. Like I turn on one news channel, they're saying one thing. I flip the channel, and the next news broadcaster is saying the polar opposite. Every single point, they're saying the exact opposite dynamic. Then I flip to another channel, they're saying a completely different thing. I read one thing in one paper, I read another paper, and it's completely conflicting information. How are we to actually be able to know what is true? So this caller was getting to the point where he's saying, I can't factually determine anything to be the truth or to be falsehood anymore. I have to just kind of take a stab in the dark, just reaching and grabbing at things and then picking between them. Like, do I think this is more true? Do I think this is more true? What's my intuitive feel or opinion? That's not the trivium. You don't have the trivium in hand. You don't even know how to do the trivium method. You don't know how to perform the method of truth discovery. This is the problem with people. Was the perfect example. I'm going to go back and actually download the show and play this segment. I haven't gotten a chance to download it yet, but it was a few days ago, okay? And literally is saying, I do not know how to determine what is true versus what is untrue. Think about that for a moment, ladies and gentlemen. I really want you to deeply think about and consider that and how maddening that is. How maddening for everyone out there it should be. If you understand a word that I've talked about throughout all of the years of what on earth is happening. When I tell you, you shouldn't take my word for it. You shouldn't just develop an opinion. You shouldn't just think about how the information makes you feel and then go by that. You have to have a methodology of truth discovery in hand. And that is, you do eclectic, enormous data gathering. You exhaust the topic about whatever particular thing you want to know the truth about. You gather it all. You gather all sides. You gather everything that has been written on it to the extent that you can. And you pour through it all. Now, when you tell people that's what you have to do to vet things through the trivia method, they'll look at you like you're out of your mind. You want me to do all that work? You want me to do all that reading? You want me to do all that sifting? Yes! Yes! What, you think I just pulled all this out from up my ass? I just, you know what I did? I went in my room and I said, let's see. What do I want to talk about? I'll just invent the programming of the minds of women. I'll just invent it because it sounds cool. And then I'll just write out all a bunch of fucking dumb, uninformed, non-backed by any data opinions and just slap them on a slide and put a bunch of fucking dumb shit out there for people to latch onto. Yeah, that's what I do. No, I don't have a fucking library full of books on the topic. I don't have a library that's like probably about 60 to 70 times or more my physical library, maybe 100 times at least, that digitally that I've poured through. No, it's all just opinions from up my ass that I'm just spitting to other people. Now, it is true, lots of other people are just doing that. I will tell you where my opinion exists, and it's laid out for you to consider. I will give you that consideration, just like if I tell you this information is factual, I'm being considerate of you, versus saying, I don't know whether it's factual. This happens to be my current opinion because I need more data or I need to analyze the data more. I will tell you when it's my opinion versus when I have vetted it. I am putting this out here for you to re-vet. You are to continue to try to discover about this through research and either continue to prove it as factually correct or to attempt to prove it as not factually correct through your enormous body of data gathering and logical transforms and processing. That's the trivia method. Then you put information back out there for other people to consider. That's the rhetoric stage. That's what this show is. I've already done the grammar and the logic stage. This is the rhetoric stage. This is putting it out there for other people's consideration and for them to look into it. And then you have to continue. This would be part of your grammar, your data gathering. Then you have to read more into it and do logical transforms of that data based on the data you gather, and then you have to put it back out for other people to consider. That's how truth discovery works. That's how it is refined. That's how it gets better. That's how it gets faster. That's how it gets more complete. Most people aren't doing that. They're just taking a stab in the dark and grabbing something and saying, what's my feeling on this? What's my opinion? That's not how I've ever done anything from day one of What on Earth is Happening. And if you can't tell that, you're a fucking dumb dolt. I just don't know what to tell people. I just can't even believe that there are people who believe everything is just a fucking matter of opinion. People still believe this and don't understand there's a truth discovery and vetting process that exists. And I've talked about it extensively. And people just won't even look into it. They're so dumb still, they won't even look into it. They haven't even discovered the word trivium yet. It's unfathomable to me where humanity is at. Still, this late in the game. Let's continue. Princess, okay, so they're placated, revered, and pampered. This is all about the comfort. This is what women are culturally conditioned to want from day one when they come out of the womb by this satanic social engineer class. Comfort. Comfort is everything. Comfort is what's to be desired. Comfort is God. Money brings comfort, so money is God. Comfort and money are God. Comfort and money are God. Comfort and money are God. That's it. Don't fight. Don't struggle. Don't overcome hardship. Don't become strong. No. Be pampered. Be weak. Want things given to you. Want comfort heaped upon you. And whatever guy's willing to do that, just try to attract him with your sexuality, with your looks, with your allure, to the point where that's what he'll just say, yes, princess, just have all this comfort and these resources heaped upon you without you having to do anything but look pretty. That's it. That's princess programming right there in a nutshell. And tell me that's not what most women try to strive for. You're telling me I don't see that dynamic in society? I'm somehow wrong regarding that? That isn't how it is? That isn't the current condition of most women in our culture in particular, but largely throughout the world? You are a fucking liar if you say that. You're not only just dumb, you're fucking straight up lying. Because that's absolutely how it is. And if you can't see that, you're really fucking brainwashed and asleep. That's the problem. This is part of the big problem with this is with men that don't want to see this. Men that don't want to acknowledge this is all cultural conditioning. Children aren't shot out of the womb this way, dumbass. This isn't just how women are. This isn't how nature made women. You gotta be a fucking even dumber dolt than people who fall for this to believe that's just the condition of women. And the Bible said that Eve was just evil and working with Satan, and so this is how women turned out. And this is how you dumb fucking men out there think too. That's how fucking stupid and dumb you fucking dumb dolts are. You know? How many people I've heard say, that's just the nature of women, Mark. I think your nature is you're a dumb golem mud ape that fucking totally bought into all the fucking social engineering of the fucking Satanist master whose dick you suck. How about that? You like that? That's what I think of men who say, this is just the nature of women. The nature of you is you're a fucking retard. That's your nature. And you can't see social engineering because your fucking brain's not sophisticated enough to see it, you dumb fuck. I can't take human stupidity anymore, people. I can't take it. If you can't see, I'm fed up with human stupidity, and I can't take how people stay in their same dumb, ill-informed opinions without looking into how one fucking thing really works in this life. Then I don't know what to tell you. You're probably just as dumb as they are. This is a huge part of particularly Western culture, starts at birth and continues throughout really the whole life of most women, but is very paramount in the formative years of their development. They are taught to value only what can be gained for themselves through relationships with men. What's that called? That's called Satanism, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, what can you do for me? Whole songs written on it. What have you done for me lately? You know? Entire songs. You know? You gotta have a J-O-B if you want to be with me. You know? This is where this whole culture started. Like, money's all that matters. And you forget that the hip-hop and rap of today, it's all fucking programmed by Satanists and influenced. And if you don't play ball with those Satanists, you don't get your fucking music out there to influence culturally the masses of people. But, you know, they want to define themselves as whatever I can get for me through a man. Or really through anybody. It's just blatant selfishness, and that's the very paramount tenet of Satanism, is egotism and selfishness. That's tenet number one of Satanism. And then the other thing they're looking for is to seek only men who could, quote, provide for them. That's it. They're not looking to provide for themselves. They're looking to be provided for. And it's like, people should be striving to provide value so that other people provide necessary resources for them. The reason that I can do this and be supported is because I'm doing the right thing, first and foremost. Number one, I'm doing that which is morally right. This is action, which is morally right action, to educate and edify the masses of people regarding what's going on culturally, regarding what's going on socially, and to teach morality and natural law for them to come out of a satanic mindset. That, above all else, is the morally correct thing to do in this life. Number one, that's why I'm provided for. Number two, in disseminating that knowledge to other people, I am providing value to them and to their lives. And very many people have told me that. So then, in the providing of that value, free of charge, initially, right? I'm putting it out there, all free, for people to learn and grow from. Then, they provide some monetary value so that I can translate that into the things that I require on a daily basis to live, to have some prosperity in my life so I can have an environment where I can continue to do this. There's nothing morally wrong about that. That is a fair, equitable trade for value. I'm providing something that's valuable. They're providing resources through voluntary donations that are not forced, not coerced, that allow me to have the things and be in the situations that I can continue to provide this value on an ongoing basis. That's what right livelihood is. That's what moral behavior is. That's what voluntary interchange of resources is. You see, this is what most people are not doing because they're not in right livelihood. They're doing things that are harmful to other people. They're doing things that does lead to other people getting hurt and condoning hurting other people when it comes to government and military and even medicine today and education today. This is why I tell people part of becoming a truly spiritually active person, to become truly activated spiritually, is to enter right livelihood, to quit a job if it's in wrong livelihood, even if it means that you are going to suffer in the short term, even if it means your family may have to suffer in the short term, even if that involves children. Yes, it is better to allow your own family, even if your family includes young children, to endure and undergo physical hardship in the short term, not to continue to do direct harm to people over and over again in the long term. And who am I to say that? I'm somebody who understands the truth of that statement. I don't need to be anybody the fuck else. Okay? I recognize and accept the truth of the matter of how that dynamic works in the natural world. And in the world that is directly part of the laws of the creator of the universe, the moral laws of the creator. I know how that dynamic functions in reality and in nature. That's who I am to say it. So yeah, I have every right to tell somebody in wrong livelihood to quit their job, even if it means their family goes hungry. Every fucking right. And that would be far lesser of any kind of a harm than you're doing by continuing to stay in the fucking immoral job that you're in. Stop hurting other people's fucking family, okay? Your family not being provided for is not the fucking problem of the family you're actively harming, jerk off. You gotta stop doing the fucking harm, then maybe the universe will say, hey, I'll work to support so you can get your fucking legs under you so you can support your family doing what's right instead of continuing to take fucking blood money doing what's wrong. What do you think? You're helping your actual real family? You're putting them in spiritual bondage. You're fucking devouring their soul. Forget about supporting them in the physical. You're killing them spiritually, you dumb shit. And people want to tell me I'm wrong for fucking telling people to quit their fucking jobs. Get the fuck out of here. Get your head fucking screwed on straight. And understand that's the only way this world's going to be fucking saved is when people stop doing immoral shit for a paycheck. You dumb shit. You haven't figured that the fuck out yet. The next characteristic of this is they place paramount importance on their physical appearance to lure a male. That's all that matters to the princess programming victim. You know, the woman is taught all your value is perpetually wrapped up in how you look. Well, what's going to happen when that's not there one day? You know? When that fucking runs out of the fucking tank and it's not there, then who are you? then what's your identity then? You know, they're going to just say, I hope I'm set up well enough by then. Yeah, that's a great spiritual attitude to take. I hope I can get somebody to be only into my physical appearance because I'm a fucking dumb shit underneath the surface. I'm a dumb program piece of shit under the surface that they just set me up in life so that I'm okay when my fucking looks fall apart. Sounds like somebody who really respects themselves and has high self-esteem. Damn, I have been on fire today, and nobody does this. Nobody sounds what I sound like. Nobody says what I will say. I don't have to listen back to this one. I know how fucking awesome it is. Okay? I go back and listen to some of my presentations, and I still can't believe no one will say the things that I will say. People gotta get some more fucking balls and just say it out in the fucking open because it's true. Everything I'm saying is the truth. I'm not making any of it up. I'm not sugarcoating it. I'm telling you exactly what you need to hear to get your head out from up your fucking ass and put some truth in between your fucking ears so that you can actually free yourself. Okay? And then they devalue importance on their own intelligence. This is the woman receiving the princess programming. You ever see the princess want to really actually be a truly holistically intelligent person that stands up for what's truly right and against the system? You know, it's all about get the looks so you can get the man with the money so you can be taken care of and live happily ever after. This is all bullshit programming put out by Satanists. That's all it is. You think that Disney aren't fucking satanically owned and operated? You think that all these fucking organizations that target fucking young girls, that's not coming from the satanic social engineer class? They're sorcerers. They're fucking evil fucking wizard sorcerers. They know everything about how to get inside here. You know, then they'll sell you on all the fucking merchandise and fucking dolls and movies and everything, you know, but that's all just a means to an end to unlock and get in here. And then lock the fucking key and throw it out so you can never unlock the bullshit that they just injected in between your ears. They want to seek money as their main value system. That's the main tool and the main means to an end of the satanic social engineers. It's not really their God. It's what they want to position as your God. That's not their God. Money is not the God of the Satanists of this world. Neither is Satan. I've gone over that a million times. They don't worship the Christian devil. People who think that they're devil worshipers, you have no fucking idea what Satanism is. You should close your fucking mouth about it. You really should keep the fucking word out of your mouth because you know nothing about it if that's what you think. Okay? And I hear it over and over and over again and over and over and over and over and over. They're devil worshipers. They worship the devil. I mean, that sounds so spot on to what they sound like, too. I mean, when I hear them speak, that's the voice I hear them speak in. Okay? And, no, the ego is the god of Satanists. They are their own gods. They see themselves as God. They want to be God here. Okay? And that's what you have to understand. They're not worshiping anything except their own ego and wanting to put it up on a pedestal and have everybody else worship them as a god because they want to usurp the place of the God of creation and they want their law to trump God's law. If you haven't gotten it yet, that's what Satanism is. That's why there's a fucking Baphomet with the Lilith figure archetype below it, because that's what this unholy Lilith energy serves. It's Lilith and Samael, the dark twin to Adam and Eve. You know, that's the unholy feminine and unholy masculine together in the unholy wedding that's going to destroy all of human society and bring it under the fucking banner of Satanism, which is out of control egotism, moral relativism, flushing natural law and true morality down the fucking toilet, and having a fucking social engineer class rule the earth as fucking gods forever. technocratically, from which we'll never be able to escape. And it will be a permanent fucking prison hell world. So money is only a means to an end for this satanic overlord population. That's not their real God. Their real God is their own ego. Egotism is the first satanic principle. What they want to position money as is your God, the slave class. And that's why they target that with princess programming, to make money the God that is to be revered and worshipped. Especially coming out of a very early stage of child development, out of the formative years. That's what they want to be heralded as the God of their mindset, of their satanic inculcated mindset. And to even think that no man is even good enough for them. This is the old adage of, where are the good men? Well, maybe if women, maybe they could take a more proactive approach to where's the good men. Number one, you've been taught and inculcated to truly despise and detest anybody who resembles a good man. Okay? Because the good man is independent, doesn't want to be led by the fucking nose, isn't all about fucking money, is about morality, is about being a true rebel, not a rebel that my sports ball team can beat your sports ball team, is a rebel against the state, a rebel against authority, actually thinks for themselves, has high holistic intelligence, and won't just be a yes man and say, yeah, you know everything just because I want to get in your fucking pants and I'll be a yes man for you so that you can get into my wallet. This is total Satanism. This is just everybody just always just living only for what they fucking want and throwing nature out the fucking window. And we're going to talk about, like, natural experience is dead. Natural conversation is dead. Natural relationship is dead. It's all, everything that really comes out of nature, when you actually support it, when you let it be your basis for your understanding and development. The Satanists don't want that. They want artificial constructs just bombarding the mind all day long so people will act as they want them to act. And they're genius chess masters at being able to program the mind that way. So this is the very first step that they hit, especially the woman with, the female with, at a very early stage of child development in the formative years, the princess programming. Let's move on to the next slide. Speaking of money, which is going to be a big part of this presentation, again, what they want to inculcate, especially into the young female, is that the only motivation that you have in life is to garner and keep a sense of security in your living space, your living domain, your overall lifestyle. You want security. You want so much affluence and monetary wealth that you can never be taken out of that place of security. And it doesn't matter what you had to do to get it. It doesn't matter what the man had to do to get it. You know, it's not about morality. Don't even ask questions where the money came from. How many women don't even really, truly, really know what the man they're with is doing on a daily basis? There's so much compartmentalization in jobs. Most women who have a guy who has a real high-paying job and salary, they don't know what he's doing or why. They don't know the large scheme of things that that job falls into, or who it helps, or what it condones, or what it supports. And they don't care. They don't care for a minute. All they care about is that paycheck still coming in every week to support my lifestyle and my security. That's the inauthentic woman's motivation in this world, largely. The inauthentic woman is largely motivated by the psychological desire for attachment and security. Attachment to a lifestyle, attachment to an identity, attachment to what they are able to do in society because they have enough physical resources and wealth. But security above all. This illusion of being kept safe. You know, you think when an asteroid enters the atmosphere and it gets slung around Jupiter and it's making its path toward the Earth, you think it's going to spare the billionaire's house? You know, it's going to come down and affect the billionaire like it's going to affect the poor. And you can go, they'll be in underground bunkers. Well, if the asteroid's big enough, underground bunkers ain't going to save your ass. You better be in another fucking solar system is where you better be. You know, and if it's large enough, it's going to affect fucking gravitational, aspects of a planet. Possibly it's satellites, and you're not going to be safe anywhere. People don't understand that because they don't understand cosmology, astronomy, anything. They've never even looked at any of those topics in any real way, and they're fucking dumb dolts who think the planet's a flat disk. So, security is an illusion, is the point I'm getting at. It's an illusion. You can never live to be safe. If you're living to be safe, you're enslaved. Let's get that straight. If your motivation for living is to be safe, you're a slave. You are a perpetual slave. No free person fears death. No free person fears danger. No free person desires security. They desire more freedom and more potential and more growth and more learning and more evolutionary progress in consciousness, individually and as a species. That's what a free person desires. They don't desire being safe. They don't desire security. Where's my security blanket, Mommy? Where's my security blanket? I want to be safe. You're going to tuck me in tonight? That's what all of you sound like, the men and the women out there. Safety. That's what you want. That's your highest aspiration in life, is to be safe. Look, I'm a common sense person. I don't want to go out and drive like a fucking maniac so I put my life and other people's lives in danger. That's not what I'm talking about. My motivation for doing what I do is not to be safe, or I wouldn't be coming out here fucking challenging the globalist Satanists who run the fucking world. What, they couldn't send a fucking henchman to fucking hit me anytime they want? They don't want to do that. If it would, first of all, everything I have been saying is already validated. That would just add further validation onto what everything I've said since day one. They don't operate like that, and I've been trying to tell people they don't operate like that. I am a nobody to them. The proof that I'm a nobody to them doesn't have anything to do with me or how I feel about myself as a human being for doing what I do. The proof is they're looking at society and they're realizing this guy could tell this whole fucking population this for 100 million fucking years and they're never going to fucking learn. The people of this world are not going to change. I'm not here to try to get you to change anymore. I'm here to tell you the fucking truth. The end. You're going to fucking die. You're going to fucking go down and into the shitter. And that's where this species belongs. They don't belong anywhere else but the shitter. Because they're too fucking dumb to go anywhere else. The universe is going to allow to evolve to the next levels of existence. The intelligent, the caring, the motivated, and the brave. And humanity is none of those things. We're going to be devoured by the satanic priest class. And that is exact, perfect justice under natural law. That's what's coming. I have zero delusions that we're winning and we're going to win and God's going to make us win because good always wins. Shove it up your ass. You don't know how natural law works because you're a dumb fucking child who never learned how it works. That's not how the God of creation operates. It supports when people are doing the correct and moral things in life. And if you believe humanity is doing the correct and moral things in life, you really are a fucking dumb child. Could we eventually move on to do those things? Maybe. But let me tell you something, folks. The train's pulling out of the station, and that window is being closed down. So, if your motivation is security, You're not a real fucking authentic person. You're not a person who values real freedom. You're actually a joke. And I guess I'll leave it there. That's about all the time we're going to have for this week, folks. I hope you've been enjoying the presentation on the Unholy Feminine. We will see you right here next week for the next edition, part 6 of the Unholy presentation, of the Unholy Feminine presentation, right here on What on Earth is Happening. Hope you have enjoyed it, and we will see you right here next week.